Chapter 952. By the way, I heard from Wei Jun that you are an agent for Nanshan Pharmaceutical. Yes, Pan Jiao replied. Is the primordial spirit soup selling well? It's quite good, Pan Jiao said. It's mainly because of its reputation. People who have used it say it's good. Why does it sound like an advertisement? Wang Yao laughed. Have you given it to the elderly? My mother has been drinking it, Pan Jiao said. She said she felt a little stronger after drinking it. Well, the primordial spirit soup is mild and has no toxic side effects, Wang Yao said. It can be used as a tonic and can be taken for a long time. However, the main problem for the elderly is that their qi and blood are not flowing well. Although the medicine is useful, it can't be absorbed very well. What medicine are you using now? Pan Jiao asked. This medicine is called primordial spirit soup, Wang Yao said. Is this the ancestor of the primordial spirit soup? Pan Jiao joked. You can think of it that way, Wang Yao said. The primordial spirit soup was indeed formulated based on the taste of this medicine. More common herbs were used to replace the licorice roots in the primordial spirit soup. Naturally, the efficacy of the primordial spirit soup was greatly reduced. After all, these licorice roots were the king in this medicine. In Chinese medicine, the most important thing was the king in the medicine. It could be said that changing it was equivalent to changing the medicine. Not long after the old woman drank the medicine, Wang Yao began to give the old woman a unique massage. He helped her circulate her qi and blood, accelerated the circulation of her qi and blood, and promoted the absorption of the medicine. After a while, the old woman's pale face became a little rosy. The effect of this medicine was more than 10 times stronger than the primordial spirit soup. It was easier to absorb. This was the wonder of the licorice roots. Not only were they magical, but they were also easier to absorb. Wang Yao focused on massaging the old woman's waist and legs. Oh, it's so comfortable, the old woman exclaimed. Wang Yao's massage really made her feel very comfortable. The treatment took him nearly 2 hours. How do you feel? Ah, it's comfortable, the old man said. My body is warm. Most importantly, my legs are also warm. It used to be cold and painful. In the past, she felt the most uncomfortable with her 2 legs. They were cold, painful, and she couldn't stand up. She couldn't sit or lie down peacefully, and she couldn't sleep well at night. She might as well not have them. However, she still hoped that one day she could find a good doctor to cure her and let her stand up again. This is a normal reaction. Come back tomorrow at this time, Wang Yao said to Pan Jiao. Okay, sorry to trouble you, Dr. Wang, he said. After witnessing Wang Yao's treatment, he began to believe Zheng Weijun's words. After thanking the doctor and paying the consultation fee, he left with his mother. Mom, is it really as good as you think? After getting into the car, Pan Jiao asked softly. As he spoke, he was still rubbing his mother's legs to help her move her muscles. Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you? I felt this feeling 3 years ago when the old Chinese medicine doctor from Jiangxia treated me. Oh, that's good. That's good. 3 years ago, Pan Jiao had taken his mother to see an old Chinese medicine doctor. His treatment was effective. Unfortunately, the old Chinese medicine doctor was too old. He passed away not long after. His mother's illness could not continue to be treated. So, we'll stay here for 3 days first? Okay, we'll go home before Chinese New Year, the old woman said. We'll definitely be able to go back before Chinese New Year, Pan Jiao said. He knew that the old woman still missed her grandson and granddaughter at home. This small mountain village looks quite deserted. The old woman sat in the car and looked at both sides of the road. Along the way, she only saw 2 people. They were both old people. Nowadays, young people don't want to live in such a village, Pan Jiao said. Anyone who can afford to move to the city. Hey, what do you think Dr. Wang is thinking? Why would one live in a mountain village full of old people? Everyone has their own aspirations, the old woman said. These extraordinary people are always different from ordinary people. Besides, I don't think such a small mountain village is bad. At least the air is clear and it's more peaceful. That's true. It's just like my hometown. People were used to living in some big cities. Sometimes, they still miss the taste of their hometown. They arrived in Lianshan County and found a place to settle down. In a valley of thousands of medicine thousands of miles away, Miao Qingfeng and Miao Changhong had also returned from County. They carefully reported what had happened outside to Miaoshi River. This venomous insect will last at most a month. Be careful. Hey, I'm in a hurry. It's Chinese New Year in less than a month, Miao Changhong said. I think they'll definitely go there before Chinese New Year. I specifically told the people watching them outside to be careful. Okay. On the second day after they returned, Lu Xiufeng and Yang Guanfeng followed them to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. In Lu Xiufeng's words, they were striking while the iron was hot. When they saw Miaoshi River, they first expressed their gratitude to him. Then, they vaguely mentioned their idea. They did not expect Miaoshi River to be so interested in the proposal that he asked about in detail. At noon, the two of them were treated with great hospitality. Lu Xiufeng once again drank a lot. Chief, do you really agree? Use me as bait to lure Miao Tianquan out. This idea is really good. But Miao Tianquan is now the madman, Yang Guanfeng said. He could do anything dangerous. You don't have to put yourself in danger. I didn't agree to it, did I? Miaoshi River said with a smile. How are things on Xiao's side? The situation is very stable. Good, very good, Miaoshi River said with a smile. Miaoshi River did not give a positive reply to Lu Xiufeng and Yang Guanfeng, but he did not directly refuse. He said that he would think about it. He didn't agree. Didn't you hear what he said? Yang Guanfeng asked. He didn't agree, but he didn't refuse either. This shows that there is room for negotiation. After all, it's almost Chinese New Year. He is the chief of this stockade. Something happened a while ago. He needs to settle down, right? Well, shall we come back after Chinese New Year? Well, that's the only way. I'm thinking now that Miao Tianquan, whose whereabouts are unknown, better not surprise us again near Chinese New Year. Yang Guanfeng sat in the passenger seat and lit a cigarette. Hey, you study criminal psychology, Yang Guanfeng said. Analyze it. What is Miao Tianquan thinking now? Lu Xiufeng stared ahead and did not speak for a long time. To be honest, I really can't analyze it, he said after a while. However, he definitely won't be so idle. He should be planning something. Something big, enough to surprise us. In a town hundreds of miles away, Miao Tianquan and Miao Qingshan were sitting around a hot pot. During this time, they had been nearby and had never left. It's almost Chinese New Year. Miao Qingshan sighed. In the past, it was the busy time in the stockade. Everyone was busy preparing for the Chinese New Year. The Chinese New Year was also the liveliest time in the stockade. Now, that kind of liveliness had nothing to do with him. It would be the same in the future. They had disguised themselves so they could still eat hot pot. Recently, the checks in the area had become more and more intense. When they met strangers, they would check their IDs and question them. There were a few times when the two of them were stopped by the police. He felt that his heart was in his throat. He thought that he was going to be exposed. Fortunately, Miao Tianquan dealt with it. It was a joke. As Miao Tianquan, who had been involved in the killing and robbery business, he had seen this kind of thing many times, so he was very calm. I really want to go back to the past. Miao Qingshan sighed in his heart. He then picked up the wine glass on the table and drank it all. What are you thinking about? Miao Tianquan asked. I'm thinking about the stockade, the Chinese New Year, and my future plans, Miao Qingshan said. He was not lying. He said what he thought. Chapter 953. Miao Tianquan did not say anything after hearing that. He picked up the wine glass on the table and drank it in one gulp. The white wine was somewhat spicy. It burned as it went down his throat. I'm afraid we won't be able to go back in the future, Miao Tianquan said after being silent for a long time. Yes, I know. Miao Qingshan nodded. There were some things one knew one could not do. There were some places one knew one could not go. However, that did not stop one from thinking about it. Some things were good to think about. Come, let's drink. The two of them drank quite a bit. They each had their own thoughts. When they left, snowflakes floated in the sky. It was rare to see snow in that place. It's snowing. Miao Tianquan looked up at the sky. Fine snowflakes slowly fell from the sky. He stood there and looked at them. He was lost in thought. It was as if the snowflakes had some strange magic. Thousands of miles away, in the Qi province, it was also snowing. The snow was heavier this time. Soon, the world was covered in a vast expanse of white. Silver snakes danced in the mountains, and the plains were like wax elephants. It's snowing again. There seems to be a lot more snow in recent years than in previous years. Jiazizai stood in the courtyard and looked at the sky. It was gloomy. Snowflakes slowly floated down. There was no wind in the sky. It shouldn't stop snowing like this for a while. The sky was gloomy. There was no wind. Snow usually did not stop falling for a while. It's a good day to have a glass of wine. Honey, how about cooking some dishes for lunch? Sure, Hume said with a smile in the house. In the clinic, Wang Yao treated Pan Jiao's mother for the second time. The effect was even more obvious this time. The old woman's legs had an obvious reaction. "Oh, Dr. Wang, your treatment is amazing," the old woman exclaimed. As a patient, she had the most right to speak. What was her body like in the past? Her legs did not feel anything other than cold and pain. She felt uncomfortable all over. She could not sit or lie down. She could not eat or sleep. This kind of painful feeling repeated day after day. Naturally, her spirit became worse and worse. But now, after less than 2 days of treatment, she could clearly feel that her body was getting better. At least her legs were no longer cold and painful. Her body was also warm, and she was full of energy. "You flatter me," Wang Yao said with a smile. This old man's condition wasn't particularly serious. It wasn't a big problem. "All right, come back tomorrow." Thank you so much." Looking at his mother's slightly rosy face and happy smile, Pan Jiao felt very happy. He was happier than if he had made a lot of money. "It's snowing, slow down." "Ah, thank you." After thanking them profusely, the mother and son left the clinic, got in the car, and went back to Lianshan County. "We made the right decision to come all the way here," the old man exclaimed after getting into the car. "Yes," Pan Jiao replied. "To be honest, when I first met Dr. Wang, I was still skeptical. Tell me, how capable can such a young person be?" "You really can't judge a book by its cover," the old man said. "When I first met him, I had the same idea as you," Wang Yao said. "If it weren't for Zheng Weijuan's introduction, I wouldn't have come here at all. Who would have thought that his medical skills were so amazing? In such a small mountain village, there is actually such a young master. When he treats my illness, we have to thank him well." "Don't worry, I will thank him well," Pan Jiao said. Although the price of the medicine Wang Yao prescribed was not cheap, it was not worth mentioning to him. As long as his mother could be healthy and stand up, he was willing to pay any amount. The snow outside showed no signs of stopping. It continued to snow all day until night. At night, on Nanshan Hill, there was a bit of yellow. Wang Yao stood on the hill and looked at the sky. "This snow will continue until tomorrow morning." The dog stood next to him, also looking up at the sky, wagging its tail from time to time. "All right, go to sleep." He rubbed the dog's head, then pushed the door open and went into the room. A moment later, the sound of chanting came from the hut. The 3 mountain guarding generals on the hill listened quietly outside the hut until the chanting stopped. Then they went to rest in their nests. The next morning, when the sky was just beginning to brighten, the snow stopped. The snow covered the mountain. Early in the morning, Zhong Luchuan, Jia Zizai, and Hume stepped on the snow and went up Dongshan Hill. On the mountain, the wind was cold and the snow was white. The 3 of them had several rows of footprints. The 3 of them sat on the mountain and quickly entered a state of meditation. They sat there for nearly 2 hours. Jia Zizai was the first to wake up. Sure enough, the effect of practicing in such weather is the best. The next to wake up was Hume, and the last to wake up was Zhong Luchuan. This also reflected the level of their cultivation in one respect. "Brother, since we have nothing to do at noon, how about we have a drink?" "No, that's fine." When the 3 of them went down the mountain, they met Pan Jiao coming in from outside the village. "Are you here to see Dr. Wang?" "Yes, he has been here for 3 days," Jia Zizai said. "He is an old man who has trouble walking. His son is quite filial. He knew very well what had happened in the village." "Is he from another place?" Wang Yao asked. The 3 of them chatted and went back home. In the clinic, Wang Yao began to treat the old man. This time, In addition to the massage, he also used acupuncture. The first two treatments were better than he had expected, so he sped up the treatment. The main parts of the acupuncture were the old man's back and legs. Stab, rub, pinch, lift. Acupuncture not only required accurate acupoint recognition, but also other skills. It was very informative. However, some of the things Wang Yao had mastered had been lost many years ago. This time, the treatment time was longer, more than 2 hours. When it was over, it was almost time to eat. Dr. Wang, do you have time in the afternoon? Pan Jiao asked. What's the matter? Well, I would like to treat you to a meal to express my gratitude. No, I have to go to Jing tomorrow. I have to go home to prepare. Wang Yao declined his kindness with a smile. Next time, we'll see. After paying the consultation fee, they took the 3 medicines prescribed by Wang Yao. They left the clinic, got in the car, and went straight back to Jing province. Wang Yao also closed the clinic and went home. As he had said, he had to go to Jing. The things he brought were very special. They were all seasonal fruits and some local specialties. The way they were carried and stored was also very special. They were stored in the grid of the system. Are you going tomorrow? Wang Yao asked. Yes, the flight tomorrow morning will leave from Dao and arrive in Jing on the same day. I've already told Xiaoxue, Wang Yao said with a smile. You don't have to rush back this time. Okay. In addition, he also brought some things for his second aunt's family. His mother was very thoughtful. The next day, he left the mountain village with only a small suitcase and went straight to Dao. From there, he would take a plane to Jing. Chapter 954. The plane arrived in Jing on the same day. The sky in Jing was not particularly clear. It looked a little hazy, and the air quality was relatively poor. In the airport's arrival hall, a slim woman in a light gray windbreaker and casual pants was standing there. Her eyebrows were picturesque. She was the brightest spot in the entire hall. Everyone who walked past her, regardless of whether they were men or women, old or young, would look at her a few more times. Some looked at her with passion, some with admiration, and some with jealousy. However, her eyes were always staring in the direction of the exit. She was waiting for someone, waiting for her beloved. Sir, she saw her beloved and smiled happily. At that moment, flowers bloomed all over the courtyard. Xiaoxue. Wang Yao came forward and hugged Su Xiaoxue in his arms. Damn, this person is not very good looking. This peony is stuck in cow dung. The heavens haven't opened their eyes yet. Shaoli, what do you think the girls nowadays are thinking? You came alone? Wang Yao did not find Chu Lian nearby. Yes, I came alone. Let's go. Su Xiaoxue happily held Wang Yao's arm. Wait, let me see. Well, you have become more beautiful, Wang Yao said with a smile. Su Xiaoxue just smiled. Wang Yao gently kissed her on the cheek. Suddenly, the rosy clouds flew to her cheeks. Shame on you, showing off your love like this. This is outrageous. The two of them left the arrival hall lovingly. Su Xiaoxue drove Wang Yao home. The Su family had specially prepared dinner for him, but Su Xianghua was not at home. The chef cooked Shandong cuisine. He took good care of Wang Yao. During dinner, Song Ruiping and Su Xianghua talked mostly about family matters, such as how his parents were doing and whether his family was busy recently. To be honest, there were not many topics between the two of them. After dinner, Wang Yao and Wang Yao stayed together and talked a lot. Then Wang Yao went to the small courtyard. He didn't live in the Su family's house now. Although Song Ruiping invited him to stay, he was still careful. After all, he wasn't the son-in-law of the Su family yet. Sir, Chening had already prepared a place for him to stay. She was very happy to see Wang Yao. Sorry to trouble you again. You're too polite. The next morning, Wang Yao woke up early. The siblings, Chen Ying and Chen Zhou, woke up even earlier than him. They were exercising in the yard. However, the air in Beijing was really bad. There was a haze on this day. When they breathed in, they felt as if something was inhaling into their throats and lungs. It was very uncomfortable. Compared to Nanshan, the difference was like heaven and earth. Sir, it's time to eat. Chuning quickly prepared breakfast with several exquisite side dishes. Good. Your cooking skills are getting better and better. Wang Yao praised with a smile. Thank you. After breakfast, He went to the Su family's house with Su Xiaoxue. The two of them wandered in Beijing. They didn't have a specific destination. As long as they were together, Wang Yao had already walked around the main scenic spots in Beijing several times. The two of them didn't feel tired. They didn't know how long they walked. It was already noon. They found a restaurant on the side of the road and ordered 2 dishes casually. The taste is not bad. Wang Yao tasted it and said, "Is that so?" Su Xiaoxue rarely ate outside. "Shall we drink?" "Yes." The two of them ordered a small bottle of wine. They chatted while eating and drinking. Meanwhile, in the Su family's house in Beijing, Sister Zhao, "How do you have time to come home?" Song Ruiping greeted a guest with a smile. It was a middle-aged woman. She had taken good care of herself, but she was a little lacking in spirit. She was not as energetic as Song Ruiping. "Hey, I have something to ask you." "Come, what is it?" "You know about Xiao Rui's situation, right?" "Yes, I know. Didn't he go abroad for treatment? Is he better?" Song Ruiping asked. She had probably guessed the purpose of the visit. "No, he's still the same." "Okay." Song Ruiping nodded. "I'll tell you the truth," the woman said. "I also heard that Xiaoxue's boyfriend is a very skilled doctor. Old Master Gua, Old Master Wu, and Xiaoxue's illness were all treated by him. Can you ask him to take a look at our Xiao Rui?" This was considered a request. Song Ruiping also knew that the woman knew she had come to visit. She also knew it was not too early or too late. She most likely came for her future son-in-law. "Well, when he comes back, I'll tell him." "Okay, I'll wait for your news," the woman said with a smile. Wang Yao and Su Xiaoxue didn't return home until close to evening. They were still somewhat unsatisfied. "Yao, I want to tell you something." "Go ahead, Andy." Song Ruiping then told Wang Yao about what had happened in the morning. "How old is he? What's his illness?" "He's about 15 years old this year," Song Ruiping said. "He has congenital brittle bone disease, the kind that is easy to get injured. If he falls, his bones may be fractured. We also call him glass man. This kind of disease..." Wang Yao knew about this disease. It was a kind of new disease. As the saying went, it was brought out from the mother's womb. Among all the diseases, congenital diseases were the most difficult to treat because the cause of this disease was a problem with the body's origin. "Yao, if you want to treat him, I'll treat him. If you don't, forget it." "It's not difficult," Song Ruiping said. "How is his family?" "Their family is good." Song Ruiping was surprised. She then smiled and replied, "The He family is very strict." "Okay, let's meet. I'll wait for him in the courtyard tomorrow." "Okay, it's settled then," Song Ruiping said with a smile. They were all people from big families. If people came to ask for help, they really had no choice. They hoped that they could help and help. This kindness would be remembered in their hearts and would be returned. Although the Su family was now a big family and had a big business, they might encounter difficulties at any time. Therefore, they had to make more friends and make fewer enemies. The next day, the woman took her child to the courtyard where Wang Yao was temporarily staying. She was afraid that he would get hurt, so she pushed him in a wheelchair. It was a boy. His complexion was not very good. The key was his eyes. They were dull and dull. Maybe he felt that there was no hope in his life. "Auntie, Xiaoxue, I haven't seen you in a few years. You've become more and more beautiful," the woman said with a smile. "Hello, Dr. Wang." "Hello. This is my son, He Rui. Xiao Rui. Are you looking for someone?" The woman bent down and patted her son. Chapter 955. Hello. The young man's voice was very cold and stiff. There was no emotion in it. "I'm sorry, Dr. Wang. My son is like this. Please don't treat him like an outsider," the woman hurriedly explained. "It's okay." Wang Yao waved his hand with a smile. He carefully checked the young man in front of him. The situation was not optimistic. "It's not optimistic," Wang Yao said bluntly. "Can you treat it?" "I can try," Wang Yao said. It was the first time he had encountered such a situation. It was a congenital disease, and it was so serious. It was not acquired. The treatment of such a disease required special medicine and special methods. "Let me think about it." Wang Yao closed his eyes and pondered. In his mind, a large amount of accumulated information kept flashing. He needed to extract useful information from it information that could be used against this disease. I got it. His eyes lit up. After the new year, take him to my clinic, Wang Yao said. After the new year? Yes, I didn't bring any medicine when I came to Jing. Okay, thank you. The woman was very happy that Wang Yao agreed to treat her son. She hurriedly agreed and did not say anything more. She was afraid that she would make Wang Yao unhappy. After staying for a while, they bid farewell and left. Sir, can you treat his disease? Su Xiaoxiu asked in surprise. I want to give it a try, Wang Yao said with a smile. I have a certain degree of confidence. This was a disease that he had never treated before. It was a challenge. How confident are you? Song Ruiping asked softly. It's hard to say, but I have an 80% chance, Wang Yao said. He had a general treatment plan, but he still lacked some things and conditions. The treatment process will be relatively long. He has been here for so many years. Let's wait a few more days until the new year, Wang Yao said. All right, Song Ruiping nodded. Originally, the relationship between the Su family and the He family was not bad. If Wang Yao could successfully treat He Rui's illness this time, the relationship between the two families would definitely be further improved. Just like now, because Wang Yao treated the Wu family's old man's illness, the Wu family and the Su family had a good relationship and supported the Su family in some things. Wang Yao stayed here for 6 days in a row. He even spent the New Year's Eve in the capital. The Su family treated him very well. Su Xianghua even took the time to meet with him a few times. One must know that people at his level were very busy, especially at the end of the year. There were a lot of things to do, big and small meetings. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, people in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine were also busy preparing for the Spring Festival. Strange, why haven't they gone yet? Miao Qingfeng stood on the wooden bridge and looked at the buried god lake in front of him. Maybe they have a lot to do at the end of the year. Miao Changhong stood next to him and smoked. Ever since they went out on missions together a few times, the two of them had become very close. If they don't go out, we have to wait, Miao Changhong said. Miao Changtang seems to be having a lot of fun compared to them. Let him have a new year then, Miao Changhong said. The chief is busy with something important. It seemed that everyone was busy at the end of the year. In He County, several cases were stopped at Miao Tianchuan's place. There was no progress. While the suspect was confirmed, they had lost track of him. There were no clues. It's time for us to leave. Lu Xiufeng and Yang Guanfeng returned to the provincial capital. The case seemed to have come to an end. It was a suspense. They're gone. Follow them. The two of them did not notice that they were tailing them. When are you going to Tianjin? I'll go back to the provincial capital first, Yang Guanfeng said. I'll report this matter and explain it to the higher-ups. After that, I'll get ready to go to Tianjin to meet Miao Chengtang. I keep having the feeling that he's hiding something from us. Yeah, remember to call me when the time comes. You're going too? Yeah, it's the end of the year, Lu Xiufeng said. I'm going out for a walk. Tianjin has good food, good wine, and beautiful women. It's a great place. They went back to inform their superiors. The next day, they set off for Tianjin. They're on their way. Miao Qingfeng, who was in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, immediately informed Miaoshi River after receiving the news. Have our people follow and determine his location. Yes, sir. Don't be in a hurry to make a move after you've determined his location, Miaoshi River said. Understood. All right, you've been working hard, Miaoshi River said. Get some rest. While it's important to be busy, training is more important. Don't forget what I taught you. It's been a while since you took medicinal baths, right? Yeah, it's been a while. I've changed the prescription. Taking a few petals of blood orchids will be more effective. Got it. Miao Qingfeng excused himself. Miaoshi River coughed a few times. He sighed softly. The weather in Jing was gloomy. After a few snowflakes drifted in the sky, they stopped falling. The weather here is really nice, Wang Yao said as he looked up at the gloomy and gray sky. You don't like it, sir? Yeah, I'm used to being on the mountain, Wang Yao said with a smile. I'm not used to it. Shall we go? Sure. This time, Su Xiaoxue decided to go to Wang Yao's place to celebrate the new year. Her parents couldn't say anything about it. They just told her to take care of her health. They also told Wang Yao to take good care of her. Later, Song Ruiping talked to Wang Yao alone for a while. Wang Yao persuaded Song Ruiping to stay with her parents for the new year. Her brother, Su Zhixing, couldn't come back because of the rules of the army. There was no one at home to accompany her. The house was a little lonely. Su Xiaoxue thought about it and nodded. I'll pick you up after the new year. Okay. The plane roared into the sky. Su Xiaoxue looked up at the sky, reluctant to leave. Lao Su, do you think our primary school will suffer any losses? What losses? I think Yao is quite good, Su Xianghua said with a smile. He has ability and a good personality. He doesn't fight or make trouble. He's just right for Xiaoxue. Well, you. Song Ruiping shook her head with a smile. The two of them were talking. When they saw their daughter coming in, they were quite disappointed. What's wrong, Xiaoxue? You don't want to leave? Yes. Su Xiaoxue nodded. Her face was slightly red. Didn't he say he'd come back after the new year? It's just a few days. It was already the little new year. A few days later, it would be the spring festival. Come, have an apple. How do you do it on the mountain? How can it bear so many fruits at this time? Su Xianghua asked curiously. Chapter 956. It was common to eat watermelons and peaches in winter. It was just that those fruits did not taste as good. After all, they were not in season. However, the fruits brought by Wang Yao were different. They were sweet, delicious, and juicy. They were much more delicious than those fruits that were in season. This was not something that could be achieved with ordinary cultivation techniques. Moreover, who were they? They must have eaten the best food on weekdays, but even the best food was not as delicious as those fruits. As I said, only when you see it with your own eyes can you know how extraordinary it is, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. Well, I always hear you say that, Su Xianghua said. I have to go and see it when I have time. However, he was now in a high position. It was not up to him to decide where he wanted to go. In Dao, Wang Yao did not rush home after getting off the plane. Instead, he went to the Sun family's house. It could be considered a visit before the new year. The Sun family was very happy. It was near the end of the year. Both Sun Jingrong and his son Sun Yinsheng were very busy. At this time, they were trying to build relationships and maintain their relationship. However, they still took the time to turn down a few banquet tables and invite Wang Yao to have a meal at home. Both the guests and the host enjoyed the meal. They also invited Wang Yao to stay in Dao for 2 more days. No, I still have things to do at home. Wang Yao politely refused their kindness. It was near the end of the year. Everyone was very busy. The Sun family arranged for a driver to take him back. After arriving at the mountain village, Wang Yao said, "Sorry to trouble you." Originally, he wanted to take a taxi back. "It's my pleasure, Mr. Wang," the driver said. "This is for you." Wang Yao gave the driver some tea leaves. This can't be done." The driver hurriedly waved his hand. He knew a little about the relationship between the young man in front of him and the Sun father and son. It was very good. If they knew that he had received a gift from him, his job would be over. It's okay. Wang Yao knew what he was worried about. He put the tea leaves directly in the car. "Drive safe." "Ah, thank you. Goodbye." When he returned home, his parents were both at home. "Are you alone?" Zhang Xiaoying asked. "Ah, yes. Originally, Xiaoxue wanted to come with us, but I persuaded her not to. Her brother is on duty in the army. If she comes with us, the house will be deserted. She will come after the new year. I will pick her up then," Wang Yao said. "Yeah, that's true," Zhang Xiaoying said. Although she was a little disappointed, she also knew that what her son said was reasonable. Then, she asked her son for a long time, mainly about her future daughter-in-law's recent situation, whether she had gained weight or lost weight, her family's attitude towards Wang Yao, and so on. Wang Yao smiled and answered one by one. "Mom, don't worry. Your daughter-in-law won't run away." Yes. Zhang Xiaoying nodded with a smile. "It's time for you to go out before the new year, right?" "All right, I got it." At the end of the year, Wang Yao would always go out to visit his relatives and elders. It was a custom. In Tianjin, thousands of miles away from the village, "Officer Liu, Officer Yang, why are you here?" Miao Chengtang was very surprised to see the two of them. "It's almost the new year," Yang Guanfeng said. "We're here to see you. We've been busy for a while, so we didn't have time to take care of you. How are you doing? Have you gotten used to living here?" It's all right, Miao Tianchuan said with a smile. I wasn't used to it at first, but I've gotten used to it after a while. I even found a job. Is that so? What kind of job? Miao Qingtang told them about the job he had found, but he did not mention anything about Su Xinyuan. That's good. By the way, I brought you some things, Lu Xiofeng said with a smile. Here's 1,000 bucks. Don't think it's too little. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. By the way, do you have any news about Miao Tianchuan? Miao Changtang asked as he took the gifts and money. No, Yang Guanfeng said. Why? Do you have news about him? No, how could I have? I'm just worried, Miao Changtang said. Don't worry. He won't know you're here. Yeah. Lu Xiofeng and Yang Guanfeng stayed there for less than 2 hours. On the one hand, they wanted to ask if there was anything he needed help with while living there. On the other hand, they wanted to know if he had any news about Miao Tianchuan. In the end, they did not get what they wanted. All right, that's all. We'll head back. Call us if anything happens. Oh, sure. Thank you for your concern. The two of them were not really in a hurry to leave Tianjin. Instead, they stayed here for 2 days. Just like what Lu Xiofeng said, since they were already here, they had to take advantage of this opportunity to walk around and have some fun. It could also be considered as a form of relaxation. A while ago, they were indeed too tense due to the investigation of the case. What do you think Miao Tianchuan is at this time? He's still in southern Yunnan, near the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Lu Xiofeng said with a cigarette in his mouth. Are you so sure? Psychologically speaking, he won't leave there, Lu Xiofeng said. It's a pity that our forces are limited, and that guy is too dangerous. Otherwise, we would have launched a large-scale investigation. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, in a small town less than 50 miles away from Nanhe, in a roadside tavern, 2 people sat opposite each other. There were several dishes and a pot of wine on the table. What are you up to this time? It's almost Chinese New Year, Miao Tianchuan, who was in disguise, said after drinking a glass of wine. Yeah, it's Chinese New Year. Little Chinese New Year had passed, and Chinese New Year was just a few days away. No matter where one went, one could feel the festive spirit of the year. For example, in the town they were in, many people who worked outside had returned. The town, which used to be bleak, suddenly became a lot livelier. The two of them, who were foreigners, did not fit in there. At that time, many restaurants were closed. You two aren't locals, are you? Since they were the only ones eating there, the owner of the restaurant chatted with the two of them after serving the dishes. Not really. You're still out there at this time? Aren't you going back this year? Yeah, I have something to do this year, so I won't be going back, Miao Tianchuan said. Yeah. The owner nodded and went to the kitchen. It did not take long for him to return with 2 hot dishes. These are on me. Thank you. Eat up, the man said. It's not easy to be away from home. Miao Tianchuan stared at the 2 hot dishes in front of him and did not say anything for a long time. In the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, we've confirmed Miao Qingtang's location. The Miaoqing phone reported to the Miaoxi River as soon as he received the news. How's he doing in Tianjin? He rented a house and got a job, the Miaoqing phone said. Seems like he's doing all right. For some reason, Miaoxi River suddenly sighed and said, Yeah, it's almost Chinese New Year. All right, leave that guy there for now. There's no need to rush back. Yes, sir. As the end of the year approached, the days passed by faster than the last. In the blink of an eye, it was already the 28th of December. There were only 2 days left until Chinese New Year's Eve. In Tianjin, Miao Changtang put up a big she character and couplets on the door of his rented house. He was alone in a foreign land, all alone. Sigh. He sighed softly. When he put these things up again, he felt a little bitter and lonely. When he was in the village, he was also alone. But at least he was surrounded by neighbors, relatives, and friends. Here, he was alone. No one cared about him, and no one cared about him. It's all that damned Miaoxi River's fault. Cough, cough, cough. He suddenly coughed and tasted something salty in his mouth. He spat out some phlegm, which was tinged with blood. He had been sick for the past 2 days. He had taken some medicine and felt better. For some reason, he had been coughing quite badly that morning. After putting up the couplets, he felt rather tired. He went into his house to drink some water before lying down on the couch and watching TV. Chapter 9:57. After lying down and watching TV for a while, he suddenly felt a tightness in his chest. It was as if something was stuck there. Furthermore, it was not just tightness. It felt itchy, as if something was scratching inside. Cough, cough, cough. He couldn't help but cough again. Spit. He spat out phlegm. That time, it was bloody phlegm. What's going on? He stared at the disgusting bloody phlegm on the ground and froze. A sense of unease began to grow deep in his heart. It grew more and more like wild grass. That feeling came again. Cough, cough, cough. He couldn't help but cough again. That time, he spat out a puddle of blood mixed with something sticky. He felt as if something was moving. Am I seeing things? He squatted down while trembling. His body immediately stiffened. His face turned frighteningly pale. How is this possible? How is this possible? His body began to tremble. He saw bugs in the disgusting, viscous blood. They were tiny, thread-like bugs. Bugs. Bugs from the stockade. They're here. They found me. Miao Changtang sat down on the floor. He held his head with both hands and cried. He felt helpless, panicked, and lost. Why? Why? He eventually shouted, I've come so far. Why won't you let me go? Why? He was terrified. He was furious. He could not accept it. Why? Why? His face gradually became ferocious. If you want me dead, you'll have to pay the price. The sudden threat of death usually had several effects on a person. The first was to turn them into lunatics. They would lose control of their actions and hurt others and themselves. The second was to turn them into idiots. They would be scared out of their wits. The third was to calm them down. Once they were calm, they would be able to do many things. Furthermore, they would be able to do many things if they were drunk. After crying and shouting, Miao Changtang calmed down. It was a rare moment of calmness. I need to save myself first. He picked up his phone and called Miao Qingyuan, who was also in Tianjin. What? They're coming to Tianjin? Miao Qingyuan, who was on the other end of the phone, was stunned for a moment after hearing the news. His face turned pale. He was scared. He knew that the methods used by the people in the stockade were extremely cruel. Don't worry, they're coming for me, Miao Changtang said. I won't drag you into this. I didn't mean that. I was bewitched. I took a picture and sent it to you. See if you saw it. Miao Changtang spoke very calmly. He then described his feelings to Miao Qingyuan in detail. He wanted to know if Miao Qingyuan had any way of dealing with it. In truth, he did not hold out much hope. When he was in the stockade, he knew that Miao Qingyuan had more contact with medicinal herbs. Not everyone in the stockade could learn whatever they wanted. It depended on their talent and whether or not anyone was willing to teach them. This was not something that could be learned by self-study. In layman's terms, it was relationships. This term was not only used in the outside world, but also in the stockade. Although everyone had the same surname, there were still some who were close and distant to each other. If no one is willing to teach you, it doesn't matter how talented you are. Miaoshi River was extremely talented, and he was taught by the old chief. That was why he was able to become what he was at the moment. Miao Qingyuan listened to Miao Changtang's description and took a closer look at the picture. Well, you know that I don't know much about this. Oh, I get it. Well, you can ask Su Xinyuan. He has a lot of connections. He might have a way. Can you cure the poison in the stockade? Miao Changtang asked. Let's give it a try. All right, I got it. Thank you. After hanging up, Miao Qingyuan paced back and forth in his room. Seeing him like that, his wife went up and asked, What's wrong? Miao Qingyuan looked at his wife. She was a very ordinary-looking woman, but her temper was very gentle. When she married him, there was nothing at home. No, there was not even a home because he had escaped from the village and was as pathetic as a mouse. However, this woman had married him in such a poor situation and had never complained. She had worked hard without complaint and shared weal and woe with him. In fact, there was no joy, but more bitterness. They had a lovely daughter and then a lovely son. He felt that there was hope in life. Now, he just hoped to be able to live happily with his family. Gradually, their lives improved. Then, they moved to Tianjin and took root here. The hatred in his heart was still there, but he cherished this hard-won life even more. It's fine, Miao Qing Yuan said. A friend of mine is sick. In Tianjin, his wife asked. Yes. Let's go and have a look. Sure, I'll go and have a look. You wait at home with the child. Miao Qing Yuan nodded and made his decision. That decision could have been very risky. Oh, be careful on the road. Miao Qing Yuan took some medicine and left the house. He hailed a cab and headed to Miao Chengtang's place. Miao Chengtang kept coughing. He coughed up blood from time to time. His expression looked very bad. Knock, knock, knock. Someone knocked on the door. Who is it? It's me. Qing Yuan, why are you here? He was very surprised to see Miao Qing Yuan there. I brought some medicine, Miao Qing Yuan said. I don't know if it'll work. Wait, don't come in. Miao Chengtang felt a warmth in his heart. True feelings were revealed in times of adversity. He never expected Miao Qing Yuan to take the risk to come and see him. It was worth noting that the person who had poisoned him might still be around to keep an eye on him. Miao Qing Yuan's visit was very likely to have been discovered by that person. Furthermore, Miao Chengtang had been poisoned at the time. He could have been infected if he had gone there. That person had come at such a dangerous time. Miao Chengtang could not help but cough and say, Go, go. That's not it. I appreciate your kindness, Miao Chengtang sincerely said. I'm afraid of infecting you. You have a wife and a child back home. You know what the village is capable of. I'm already very happy that you're able to come and see me at a time like this. Really? I'll leave the medicine here. You should go home. Give Su Xin Yuan a call, Miao Qing Yuan said. He might have a way to help you. I've told you about the Guo family's influence. Sure, I'll give it a try. Remember, don't be in a hurry to go home. Walk around outside for a bit. I'm worried that the people from the village are still watching. It'll be troublesome if they recognize you. After forcing Miao Qing Yuan to leave, Miao Chengtang gave Su Xin Yuan a call. What? You're poisoned? It's not poison, Miao Chengtang said. It's a curse. The people from the village came and put a curse on me. How did they follow you all the way here? Hold on. Su Xin Yuan arrived at Miao Chengtang's place in less than half an hour. He was in Tianjin at the moment. Get to this place as fast as you can. He gave Miao Chengtang Wang Yao's address. He has a way to get rid of the curse on you. What? Miao Chengtang was dumbfounded. Are you saying that he has a way to get rid of the curse on me? Yeah, there really is a way, Miao Chengtang said. You have to trust me. Sure. I'll go right away. Regardless, it was good as long as there was hope. Hold on, Su Xin Yuan said. I'll get someone to take you there. He was quite impressed with Wang Yao's medical skills. He had been poisoned when he went to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. If it had not been for Wang Yao, he would have been a dead man buried in the ground. A car left Tianjin and quickly headed for Qi province. It was still over 1,000 miles away from where Wang Yao was. Furthermore, it was the peak period of the Spring Festival. It was inevitable that there would be traffic jams on the highway. Miao Chengtang kept coughing in the car. He used one bag after another. He was coughing up blood. It was a very serious cough. Mr. Miao, just hang in there for a bit longer. Miao Chengtang's coughing up blood scared the hell out of the driver. He was afraid that Miao Chengtang would die in the car. That would have been a terrible thing. Yeah, don't fret. Safety first. As Miao Chengtang spoke, he stuffed a vine that looked like a sweet potato into his mouth and slowly chewed it. It was the medicine that Miao Chengtang had given him back in Tianjin. He knew about it. It was a rather common medicine in the village. It was capable of repelling many poisonous bugs. They reached Lianshan County in the middle of the night and found a place to stay. Miao Chengtang did not sleep that night. He kept coughing. His chest felt tight and painful. It was as if something inside was biting and trying to get out. It was very uncomfortable. He tossed and turned, unable to sleep at all. When he woke up the next day, his face was pale, and he felt weak all over. Mr. Miao, are you all right? The driver saw him like that and hurriedly went to help him up. I don't need you to help me. I can walk, Miao Chengtang said. He struggled to get into the car. He followed Su Xin Yuan's directions and arrived at the small mountain village. How was it possible for anyone to cure me here? Miao Chengtang's eyes were sunken, and his vision was somewhat blurry as he looked at the bleak mountain village. He was in the north, which was different from his hometown, where it was spring all year long. There were only a few pine trees on the mountain that showed signs of life. Everything else was yellow and withered. The southernmost part. The car stopped at the southernmost part of the village. He saw the building with black tiles and white walls. This is it. I hope he's still here. He knocked on the door outside. Please come in. A voice was heard. Huh? Miao Changtang was dumbfounded. He pushed the door open and entered the clinic. Wang Yao was cleaning the room. In fact, the clinic was usually very clean. He was just tidying it up. Hello, Dr. Wang. Hello. Wang Yao turned around and looked at the person who had just entered. Huh? Wang Yao frowned slightly when he saw the person. You're not a local, are you? No. Miao Changtang shook his head. I'm from Tianjin. Tianjin? Is there anyone who knows how to cast curses there? Wang Yao said. Chapter 958. How did you see that? Miao Changtang asked in shock. Did someone tell you? That's right. Only Su Xinyuan knew that he was there. Su Xinyuan had specifically told Miao Changtang not to mention him. That meant that the young man before him had no idea that he was there, let alone knowing about his condition. Miao Changtang was able to tell with his own abilities. He was able to tell that Miao Changtang had been poisoned with a single glance. That was something that only a handful of people in the stockade were capable of. Being able to tell meant that he was able to treat it. Do I even need someone to tell me that? Wang Yao said. Please save me. Miao Changtang said in a sobbing tone. Seeing hope, Miao Changtang felt like a drowning man who had just found a straw to clutch at. He knelt right away. At that moment, what he wanted most was to live, even if it meant that he was on his last legs. Tell me the truth before I save you. I'm in Tianjin, but I only moved there recently, Miao Changtang said. He had no choice but to tell the truth at that point. I was originally from Dianan. Dianan? Valley of Thousands of Medicine? Wang Yao was able to tell where he was from right away. How did you know? Miao Changtang was shocked to hear that. It's really that place. You're from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Did Guojing send you? Wang Yao said. When he heard that the man was from Dianan, he immediately thought of that place. He thought of the young master of the Guo family, who was working in He County in Dianan. I am indeed from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, but I don't know any Guojingha, Miao Changtang said. I was introduced here by someone named Su Xinyuan. Su Xinyuan? The one who came last time? He said that he was here before and that you cured him of the poison. Tell me more, Wang Yao said. Cough, cough, cough. Miao Changtang's body began to cough uncontrollably. Wang Yao patted the air a few times, and his body shook a few times. Then he miraculously found that the violent coughing was suppressed just like that. The taste of blood in his mouth was also forcibly suppressed. This. Miao Changtang was so shocked that he was unable to come back to his senses for quite a while. All right, go on. Okay. He didn't need any injections or medicine. What was going on? Could it be that he was like Miaoshi River, someone who knew Kung Fu? Miao Changtang thought about many things at that very moment. He then described some of the things that were related to him. Of course, he changed some of them and covered some of them up. He was no fool. There was no way he would reveal everything to Wang Yao, who was a total stranger. Wang Yao nodded. While Miao Changtang might not have been telling the truth, he knew what he needed to know. Seeing Wang Yao deep in thought and not responding for quite a while, Miao Changtang hurriedly said, Please save me. Save you? Wang Yao looked up and stared at Miao Changtang. Did you kill anyone? No. I swear to the heavens that I didn't kill anyone. Miao Tianchuan killed all of them. It had nothing to do with me. I want to kill Miaoshi River, but I don't have what it takes. Miao Changtang pointed at the heavens. He was telling the truth about that. He did not kill anyone, not a single one. He was at most an accomplice. I can save you, Wang Yao said. Tell me about the blood orchid. How? How do you know about the blood orchid? Miao Changtang was dumbfounded. He never expected Wang Yao to know about something that was considered a secret in the village. It doesn't matter, Wang Yao calmly said. I know a lot about the blood orchid, including what you just told me. Some of it isn't true, is it? At that point, Miao Changtang's face turned pale. He was sweating profusely. He never expected that a young doctor from a small village in the north would know so much about a remote village thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan. He never expected the doctor to know so much about it in such detail. Why? What was he trying to do? The reason Wang Yao knew so much about it was all because of the information he got from Jia Zizai's friends in southern Yunnan. They used to work in special professions, so they had their own secret channels for getting information. Jia Zizai knew that Wang Yao was very interested in information about the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. She told her friends there to do everything they could to get their hands on information and tell him about it. Professionals were able to get their hands on information very well. Her friends even found ways to get some first-hand information from the police, as well as some things that had yet to be confirmed. All right, but what I know is limited, Miao Changtang said. The blood orchid is a raw medicine from the Miaojiang. It was only recently discovered by Miao Changtang. He was experimenting with it in the village. Experimenting with what? Legend has it that the blood orchid can prolong one's life and make one immune to all diseases. Oh, is it really that miraculous? It is indeed miraculous, Miao Changtang said. I heard about it from Miao Tianchuan. He was poisoned when he escaped from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine over a decade ago. He returned to the village to return to his roots, but he accidentally ate the blood orchid. The poison in his body was no longer a threat to him. Not only did he not die, but he also became stronger in some aspects of his body. All right, you could treat him now, Wang Yao said. My treatment fee is very expensive. I know. I brought money. That was something Su Xinyuan had specifically told him before he left. Very well. A bowl of decoction and half a leaf of miasma grass. After drinking it, Miao Chengtong's stomach rumbled. His chest felt hot. All right, you can go back now. Wang Yao waved his hand and said, That's it. It's done. Well, this... Miao Changtang froze where he was. Who are you trying to fool? You think I'm done for after drinking a bowl of bitter decoction? You think I'm cured of the curse? Miao Changtang was rather annoyed. He even suspected that Wang Yao had put on such an act in the beginning just to get information out of him. All right, here's the fee. A bowl of decoction costs 50,000. Miao Changtang was dumbfounded when he heard the price. This is daylight robbery. He knew medicine was expensive, but he never expected it to be that expensive. Even the sacred medicine of Miaojiang could be that expensive. What? Are you regretting it? Wang Yao asked coldly. Yes, I am. Wang Yao was silent for a bit. If you don't want to be treated, I can make you spit out all the decoction you drank, Wang Yao said. At that moment, the decoction made from the miasma grass he drank had already begun to take effect. Hiss, 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 hiss. Miao Changtang took a deep breath. He recalled what Su Xinyuan had told him. I'll pay. He paid the fee in the end. 50,000 yuan was not a small sum of money to him now. Thank you, he said through gritted teeth. Don't get angry. It's bad for your liver, Wang Yao advised. Miao Changtang was so angry that he trembled. He turned around and left. Chapter 9:59. Son of AB *TCH. Son of AB *TCH. Miao Changtang kept cursing after leaving the clinic. He felt that he and Su Xinyuan had been tricked. He turned around and looked at the clinic behind him. He wanted nothing more than to burn the place down. He opened the door and got in the car. You've recovered so quickly, Mr. Miao? The driver hurriedly asked. Let's go, Miao Changtang angrily said. The driver did not ask any more questions. He started the engine and turned the car around to leave the village. He has a bad temper, Wang Yao chuckled in the clinic. Plus, he has other hidden ailments in his body. The man had been poisoned by curses, which were easily cured with a bowl of medicine. Miasma grass was capable of killing venomous bugs. That had been proven more than once. Miao Changtang had cured that illness, but his internal organs were damaged. While the venomous bugs had been cured, the damage they had caused to his body had yet to heal. He needed further treatment. It was a pity that the man had run out of patience. It's a shame, Wang Yao said. If it weren't for him, he wouldn't have lived more than 15 years. Those goo worms were indeed powerful. In a very short period of time, They had damaged his lungs very badly. Moreover, they had entered his internal organs through his blood vessels. They had damaged the root of his organs. Although they had been removed, the damage caused had not been repaired in time. From now on, his body would become very weak, and he would get sick easily. Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Miaoshi River, Blood Orchid, and Sacred Medicine. Wang Yao recalled what the man named Miao Changtang had told him about the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. That Miaoshi River guy can't really be immortal, can he? A car sped along the road outside the village. Cough, cough, cough. He started coughing again. His chest felt stuffy, as if something was constantly crashing against it, trying to gush out. Stop the car, he hurriedly said to the driver beside him. With a squeak, the driver kicked the car and brought it to a stop. What is it, Mr. Miao? Miao Changtang did not say anything. He opened the car door and ran to the side of the road. He spat a mouthful of blood and sprayed far away. Huff, huff, huff. His mouth was filled with the smell of blood, but he felt that after spitting out the blood this time, his lungs felt much better. It was no longer as stuffy and painful. He lowered his head and looked at the blood he had spat out. There were dark red blood clots in it. Damn that Miaoshi River, damn that doctor. Rumble. His stomach suddenly started to churn, and he felt as if water was boiling. What now? He couldn't help but hide behind a big rock by the side of the road. After unbuttoning his pants, he had a bout of diarrhea. The diarrhea didn't stop, and his legs were numb from squatting. Will Mr. Miao be all right? The driver sat in the car and looked outside through the window. It's already so late. It'll be Chinese New Year in a few days. Please don't let anything go wrong. He was in a hurry to return to Tianjin and reunite with his family. It's all my fault for being greedy. I shouldn't have done this. He felt very frustrated. Miao Changtang, who was hiding behind the rock, was even more frustrated. He sadly found that he didn't have any toilet paper on him. Damn it. He wanted to call out to the driver, but the situation was very awkward. Forget it. They were on the side of the road, and they were in the wilderness. He could get whatever he needed. He picked up a few rocks from the side of the road and solved the problem. Mr. Miao, you don't look too good. The driver was just about to get out when he saw Miao Changtang walk over from behind the rock. He got in the car and looked a lot paler. Drive. Where to? Back to Tianjin, Miao Changtang said after thinking for a while. Sure. The driver started the car right away and headed straight for Tianjin. He wanted nothing more than to get back to Tianjin as soon as possible. Miao Changtang reclined in his seat, feeling extremely weak. The car sped along. There were quite a lot of cars on the road at the moment. Most people were rushing home in the days before Chinese New Year. The roads, highways were all the same. He reclined in his seat. What should I do next? They'll eat my lungs, heart, and intestines clean, Miao Changtang said. They'll eat my lungs, heart, and intestines clean before bursting out. Blood will spill all over the place. I'll die, but I don't know where I'll die. Maybe in Tianjin, or maybe on the way back. There's no hope. Mr. Miao, you don't look too good. Maybe you should get some sleep. Got it. Just drive, Miao Changtang weakly said. He didn't feel like talking at the moment. He was in no mood. There was only one way to describe what he was feeling. His heart was dead. He wanted to die peacefully, but that was not the case. The car sped along. The scenery on both sides of the road continued to recede. The sky outside continued to darken. He was so tired that he fell asleep before he knew it. By the time he woke up, the sky was completely dark. The car sped along the highway. Huh, you're awake? Miao Changtang sat up and stretched his body. Do you feel better? You've been sleeping for 2.5 hours, the driver said. 2.5 hours? Yeah. Miao Changtang looked out the window. He did not know where the city was, but it was filled with lights. Are you hungry? Let's find a place to get something to eat. Sure. He did feel a little hungry. The car drove for a while before coming to a rest area on the highway. They got out of the car, ate something, and rested for a bit. Phew, I'm exhausted. The driver stretched his back and moved his body. He ate something and drank some water. He then sat in a chair and smoked a cigarette. That doctor sure is something, the driver said. Huh. Miao Changtang was dumbfounded. It's been more than 3 hours since you came out of the clinic, the driver said. You've only coughed 3 times. Except for the first cough, which was more serious, the other 2 coughs were very mild. Yeah. Miao Chengtang came back to his senses after hearing what the driver said. He had been feeling dead on the road. He kept thinking that he was going to die. He did not notice the changes in his body at all. He coughed less and did not cough up blood. The pain and stuffiness in his chest had been reduced by half. Is his medicine really that effective? Miao Chengtang was dumbfounded. Have I really recovered? Let's go. The driver had rested enough. He was in a hurry to go home and reunite with his family. Let's go. Miao Chengtang's vigor had been somewhat restored. Maybe I've really recovered. The car sped all the way and arrived in Tianjin after midnight. After expressing his gratitude and giving Miao Chengtang a few hundred yuan, Miao Chengtang got out of the car and entered his home. He did not even bother to wash up when he got home. He collapsed on his bed and thought about the journey. Most of his experiences were in the village and meeting the young doctor. Looks like I've really recovered. He had not coughed for several hours after leaving the rest area. The discomfort in his chest had been getting weaker and weaker. I've recovered? He still found it hard to believe. The journey had been too tiring. He fell asleep before he knew it. By the time he woke up, the sun was already high in the sky. That night, he slept very early. When he woke up, he felt a little tired and hungry. He cooked a bowl of noodles for himself and added 2 more eggs. He ate very happily. Ring. Buzz. Before he finished eating, a phone call came in. It was from Su Xinyuan, who asked about his situation with the doctor. What? You're too rash. Su Xinyuan was upset when he heard that Miao Chengtang had spoken to Wang Yao in an unpleasant manner. He's a capable man. Didn't I tell you that? It's my fault. I lost my mind back then, Miao Chengtang said. By the time I came back to my senses, I was already out of Qi province. I made up my mind. I'll go there after the new year and apologize in person. Chapter 960. That's fine, Miao Chengtang said. Regardless, it's good that you're fine. Get some rest and celebrate the new year happily. Thank you. Miao Chengtang was very sincere. He expressed his gratitude from the bottom of his heart. This time, without Su Xinyuan's help, she didn't know what she would be like and how she would end up in a tragic way. Not only did Su Xinyuan point her to a doctor, but he also gave her a sum of money before leaving. Are you still in Tianjin? Yes. I'm leaving tomorrow for Jing. I'd like to meet you. Miao Chengtang made his decision. He wanted to tell Su Xinyuan some valuable information about the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Sure. On the other end of the phone, Su Xinyuan agreed without hesitation. Looks like we're about to get something, Su Xinyuan said. He did not have anything important to do at the moment. The county had been quiet for a while, and the specialists in the province had returned. As such, he focused most of his efforts on the people he had just established good connections with, such as Miao Chengtang. Logically speaking, he should not have paid so much attention to someone he had just bought over. However, he felt that Miao Chengtang had many secrets and was worth the price. As such, he did everything he could to help. He always felt that he would get tangled up with the Valley of Thousands of Medicine again. Miao Chengtang had a good night's sleep. The fear and pain from before made him physically and mentally exhausted. Now that the danger was gone and the shackles on him had been broken for the time being, he was able to let go. The pain was gone, and the burden on his mind was lifted. He was able to sleep until dawn. When he got up and washed his face in the morning, he found that his face was still rather pale. Miaoshi River. His face looked ferocious, which was rare for him. The next morning, they met at a tea house. After a night of rest, Miao Chengtang felt much more energetic. He had also thought through many things. After meeting up, the first thing Miao Chengtang did was express his gratitude to Su Xinyuan. Thank you for your help this time. Thank you. There's no need to be so formal, Su Xinyuan said with a smile. I'm here to talk to you about what's going on in our village, Big Brother Su, Miao Chengtang said. He did not try to hide anything and went straight to the point. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. The holy medicine of Miaojiang, the legend of immortality. In the eyes of others, these things were legends and stories. However, Su Xinyuan knew that a considerable portion of these things were probably true. Is it really possible to live forever and be immune to all diseases in this world? Meow, Chungtang asked. It's hard to say about immortality, but I know that you won't get sick. There are people in our village, and there's more than one of them. They've lived for decades, eating the wind and drinking the dew. They're at least 90 years old now, but they're very healthy. There's nothing wrong with them. So magical. Indeed, Miao Chungtang said. Where's the blood orchid you mentioned? It works on normal people, Miao Chungtang said. That's the holy medicine of Miaojiang, Miao Chungtang said. Miao Tianchuan was a man who was about to die. He had a will to live, which was why he returned to the village. He only wanted to see his hometown before he died. Fate brought him to the blood orchid, which cured the poison in his body and made him immortal. Su Xinyuan nodded after hearing that. The so-called immortality was not very attractive to him. After all, such things were just rumors. Was there really anyone in the world who could live forever? However, the blood orchid was very tempting to him. Do you know where the blood orchid is? The place is very well hidden, Miao Chungtang said. Only a few people in the village know about it. I know the general location, but the Miaoxi River is guarding the place. It's very difficult to get close. Knowing the general location is enough. The two of them chatted for about 2 hours in the tea house. Miao Chungtang told Su Xinyuan most of the secrets he knew, mainly about the Miaoxi River. That Miaoxi River sure knows a lot of things, Su Xinyuan said. While he looked calm on the surface, he was actually very shocked. Based on what Miao Chungtang had just said, Miao Shihe was at least 80 years old, yet he looked like he was in his 40s. Furthermore, his body was as healthy as a leopard's, so much so that he was able to dodge bullets and survive explosions from grenades. Not only was he immune to all kinds of diseases, but he was also invulnerable to weapons and poisons. That was something that only appeared in novels and movies. Yeah, I probably only know about 10% or 20% of it, Miao Chungtang said. After all, the things I came into contact with back in the village were limited. There were many key things that I didn't come into contact with. Those who know about those secrets are the ones he trusts. Miaoxi River. After the conversation, Su Xinyuan gained a whole new understanding of the chief, who lived in a remote corner of the village. Thank you for telling me all that. It's my pleasure, Miao Chungtang said with a wave of his hand. I was holding back some time ago, hoping to wait for the right price to sell in the future. After what happened this time, however, I'm done with that. I'm having delusions. He thought that the Miaoxi River would not be able to find him. At the very least, he would not have spent so much effort looking for him at a time when the year was close. That was exactly what he had done, and he had almost succeeded. Being able to live a peaceful life from then on was purely wishful thinking on his part. He finally realized that the relationship between him and the Miaoxi River was one that would not end until one of them was dead. In that regard, he was the same as Miao Tianchuan. It's dangerous for you to be in contact with me, Miao Chungtang said to Su Xinyuan. Until then, he was still unsure if the people from the village were still in the city. He wondered if they were watching him nearby to see who he was in contact with. No one is watching us, Su Xinyuan said. You don't have to worry about that. When it came to medicine, poisons, and curses, he was no match for Miao Chungtang and the others. When it came to stalking, tracking, and assassination, he was an expert. It was not that there were no people who could keep an eye on him, but they would not be there. He was confident about that. Yeah, Miao Chungtang nodded. In truth, he was still rather worried. For one, he did not know Miao Chungtang all that well. He did not know what the man used to do or what he was capable of. For another, he knew very well what the people from the village were capable of. He knew how terrifying they were. He was worried about himself, Miao Qingyuan, and his family. Is there anything else? No, thank you. All right, it's time for me to go. I wish you a happy new year in advance. Thank you. I wish you and your family a happy new year as well. After leaving the tea house, Su Xinyuan returned to his place in Tianjin. He digested the information he received from Miao Chungtang. He then called Guo Zhenghe, who was still in Yi County. He briefed him on the situation in a concise manner. Uncle Su, do you believe what he said? I used to be skeptical, but I'm 80% convinced now Su Yuan said. He still did not fully trust the man. Yeah, I got it. It's almost the new year. When are you going back to Jing? I'm planning to go back today. What about you, sir? Are you still going back to He County to celebrate the new year? Yeah, I still have to be here. So many things have happened this year. It'd be hard for me not to be here. Guojinghe sighed. He felt rather helpless. He wanted to return to Jing and spend the new year with his parents, but that was impossible under the circumstances. He was the head of He County, and it was his first year there. Even if nothing had happened, he would most likely have to stay there. Furthermore, so many things had happened in He County recently. If he were to return at a time like this, what would the higher-ups think? Furthermore, his father would probably have to stay in Qi province for the new year. Should I come over and keep you company? Su Yuan asked. No need. You stay in Jing and keep your family company, Guojinghe hurriedly said. At that time, the festival was supposed to be a time for family reunions. Furthermore, Su Yuan was a man. It would not have been appropriate for him to keep him company. I'll be fine here alone. All right then. I wish you a happy new year. I wish you and your family a happy new year as well, Guojinghe said with a smile. Su Yuan was a capable person. He was a rare talent. Guojinghe would have paid a lot of attention to such a person. I'm spending the new year alone. Guojinghe looked out the window. This is the first time. He lit a cigarette and looked out at the small and quiet county. His mind was thinking about what Su Yuan had just said to him. What an interesting place. He now had a deep impression of the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. He did not have a good impression of it at all. No matter what, Miao Tianquan was from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Because their internal conflicts could not be effectively resolved, they involved outsiders and He County, creating these shocking cases. In the final analysis, the root of all of this was the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. It had stained his political career and made it less perfect. That was what made him angry. I hope nothing goes wrong during the new year. Guojinghe thought to himself, if there was a first time, there would be a second and third time. Some people had no bottom line. In an abandoned house on the outskirts of He County, two people were talking. It's the new year. Miao Qingshan sighed. Yes, it's the new year. In China, this was the most important festival of the year. After a busy year, it was the end of the year and the beginning of a new year. Families were reunited and happy. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? Miao Qingshan was stunned. Haha, whatever. He smiled. At that time, what he wanted to eat the most was the food in the village. He had been eating it since he was a child. Chapter 9:61. Please come in. Secretary Gua, Miaoshi River is here. Please come in. Guojinghe got out of bed. Miaoshi River entered the room. It was the first time the two of them had met. Hello, Chief Miao. Hello, Secretary Gua. The two of them looked at each other and sized each other up. Thank you for your help this time, Guojinghe said. You're welcome. The cause of this incident is also related to me, Miaoshi River said. He did not refute that point. Sigh. Miao Tianquan is a lunatic, Guojinghe said. I invited Chief Miao here for two reasons. The first is to express my gratitude. The second is to ask Chief Miao how we can completely solve this problem. The second question was actually the main point, and it was also what he cared about the most. The last few times were crazy enough, and this time it was even worse. He actually directly attacked these public officials, which meant that he had no so-called bottom line at all. He was already a complete madman, a madman who was possessed by the devil. This kind of person could do anything. I've been thinking about this for the past few days. After thinking about it, since he's doing this for revenge, he might as well use me as bait. However, there is a premise. We need to determine where he is hiding and whether he is still in He County, Miaoshi River said. Ah, I wish he wasn't here now. Maybe he has already left, Miaoshi River said after a moment of silence. He tried to assassinate me last time outside the village. He was injured that time, and it was quite serious. I don't think he will live for long, Miaoshi River said. Is that so? That's good news. Guojing has said. He hoped that Miao Tianquan would die. No matter how or where, it would be good as long as the threat was eliminated. Yes, but I'm still worried. The problem is, I don't have any other good ideas. Wait for him to come. That method required a lot of luck. If Miao Tianchuan simply endured and did not act, how long would he have to wait? Since that was the case, there was nothing more to talk about. The two of them exchanged a few words before Miao Shihe took his leave. Not long after he left the ward, a beautiful and capable woman hurried in. "Sister, why are you here?" Guo Jinghe was very surprised to see her. "I'm just worried about you." The person who came was Guo Sairu. She was originally at home, but when she heard that her younger brother had an accident, she was very worried. She stopped her mother from coming over and rushed over by herself. "Look, aren't I perfectly fine?" Guo Jinghe's heart was very warm and touched when his family came, especially his sister who loved him the most. "I think Mom is right. You'd better not stay here. You should discuss with Dad about moving to another place next year," Guo Sairu advised softly. "Okay, I'll tell Dad when I have time," Guo Jinghe said. "Sis, it's almost the new year. You should go back quickly. I'm outside and so is Dad." "Mom must be lonely at home alone," Guo Jinghe said. "I'll go back tomorrow." "Okay." The siblings talked in the ward for a while. Guo Sairu helped Guo Jinghe walk back and forth in the ward a few times. Before they knew it, it was already past 8 p.m. "Sis, I've arranged a place for you to stay. You should go and rest." "I'm fine here. Don't worry. I'll stay with you for a while." Creak. Suddenly, the door opened. A person peeked in. He was very young, with a light golden complexion. "Hello, sorry. It's okay." He saw that he had entered the wrong room, so he turned back. Guo Sairu left at 9 o'clock in the evening. As soon as she left the ward, she was stopped by a young man. "Hello, madam." The young man was the person who went to Guo Jinghe's ward not long ago. "Hello, you are?" "Ah, my name is Miao Changsheng. I want to be friends with you." "Sorry." Guo Sairu smiled. It was not the first time she had encountered such a situation. After all, she was so beautiful and had a unique temperament. It was easy for some men to be fascinated by her. "This is my phone number. Maybe you'll change your mind." The young man was not angry after being rejected. He gave Guo Sairu a piece of paper with his phone number written on it. Guo Sairu did not look at it and walked away. "You have a personality. I like it." The young man smiled. "Changsheng, the patriarch wants you to go." A man in his 60s came to him and said softly, "Oh, I know, third uncle. Dad, are you looking for me? What did you do?" Miaoshi River stared at him and asked. Yes, this was his son. "Nothing. We're outside. Remember what I told you. Keep a low profile in everything you do." "I remember, Dad. It's not the first time I've come out. I know what to do." "Well, that's good. Dad, when are we going back?" "Tomorrow." "Oh, okay." Guo Sairu followed the people arranged by Guo Zhenghe to the residence. It was Guo Zhenghe's private residence. Whether it was the security or the environment, it was very good. "Miss Guo, if you have anything to say, you can tell me at any time," the man who came with her said. "Oh, I know. Sorry to trouble you." "You're welcome." After entering the house, she looked around. After taking a hot shower, Guo Sairu went to bed. She had been busy all day. When she fell on the bed, she tossed and turned. No matter how hard she tried, she could not fall asleep. She only felt that her body was hot, as if it was on fire. What's going on? She suddenly sat up. Her experience over the years told her that something was not right. No. She felt that her head was a little dizzy. This is not good. She directly called her brother. After all, this was He County. "What?" "Sister, don't panic. I'll arrange for someone to go there immediately," Guo Jinghe immediately said after receiving the call from his sister. Woo. The police car whistled. "Don't get into trouble. Please don't get into trouble." Guo Jinghe paced back and forth in the ward. At the same time, there was a look of worry on his face. "Whoever dares to do anything to my family must be killed." While waiting anxiously, a police officer hurried into the ward. "How is it?" When we rushed there, Ms. Guo was already unconscious. Unconscious? Yes, we saw a suspicious figure outside the building. He ran away as soon as he saw us. We didn't catch him. Other than fainting, did my sister suffer any other injuries? When he asked this question, Guo Jinghe's heart suddenly jumped to his throat. "No, we arrived in time." That's good. After hearing that, he felt relieved. Go and get Miaoshi River. Immediately. Yes. Miaoshi River, who had just fallen asleep, was awakened. What? Another one was poisoned? Wang Yao was shocked. He was sure that Miao Tianchuan was dead. He had been blown to pieces and could not be pieced back together. Yes, please go and take a look. Okay, I'll go right away. When he arrived at the hospital and saw Guosairu unconscious, Miaoshi River's expression changed. Chief Miao, how is my sister? She's fine. I could detoxify her immediately. Okay, soon. Guosairu woke up. Seeing that Guosairu had woken up, Guozheng'a hurriedly asked, Sister, are you okay? I'm fine. Guosairu held her brother's hand. As long as you're fine. Guozheng'a was so worried that sweat appeared on his forehead. Thank you, Chief Miao. I want to know if this was done by Miao Tianchuan. Most likely, Miaoshi River said. So, he's still in He County? Should be. Currently, the entire He County was in a state of high alert. Under such circumstances, such a thing had actually happened. Moreover, it had happened to the family he cared about the most. Guozheng'a was very angry. Then, a citywide manhunt began. In a hotel somewhere in He County, Father, what's wrong? Don't you know what you've done? Miaoshi River was very angry. I didn't do anything. Did you put a goo in a girl? I told you, this is outside, not in the stockade, Miaoshi River said angrily. Do you know who that girl is? If she finds out, what will happen to us? Father, I was wrong. Miao Changsheng was really scared this time. He did not expect his father to be so angry. Leave this place immediately. Leave overnight. What? Leave overnight? Is it that serious? Yes. Chief, there's a big search going on outside now, someone reminded him. If you leave now, it'll be equivalent to confessing without being pressed. Well, I forgot about that. How about this? Put a disguise on him and leave with us tomorrow. Okay. In the hospital in He County. Sister, what's the name of that person you said? Miao Changsheng. Miao. Guozheng'a's first reaction when he heard the name was that it was the Valley of Thousands of Medicine who came with Miaoshi River. He immediately arranged for someone to check the hospital surveillance. As expected, he saw the man who stopped Guosairu. Check again. Through other surveillance, it was found that he did come with Miaoshi River. It's confirmed. He frowned. No matter who he was, as long as he threatened his family, he was an enemy. Sister, rest well, Guozheng'a said. Leave this to me. I'm fine, Guosairu said. Don't make any more trouble. Oh, I know what to do. Rest well. After leaving the ward, Guozheng'a's face immediately became frighteningly gloomy. Secretary Guo, do you want to control them? No. These people are very dangerous, Guozheng'a said. Let me think about it. Keep an eye on them. Yes. After returning to the ward, Guozheng'a paced back and forth in the room. Chapter 962. It was obvious that Miao Changsheng was the one who did all that. That incident had completely crossed his bottom line. However, Miao Shihe and the others were very special. It was not convenient for him to make things difficult for Miao Changsheng at the moment. He still needed them. He paced around the house several times before calming down. He decided to bide his time for the time being. However, the incident would not be over just like that. That night, He County was in a state of panic. Miaoshi River and the others were also on tenterhooks. As Miaoshi River had said, they were outside, not in the stockade. They could not be too casual and presumptuous. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Police sirens were heard outside all night. It was scary but not dangerous. After dawn, they immediately set off and returned to the stockade. They're gone, Secretary Guo. Got it. Go do what you need to do. Okay. The storm temporarily stopped after most people were rescued, but it would not be over just like that. The incident had alarmed the highest level because it was at the end of the year. Moreover, several vicious incidents had occurred in that place in a row. Directly attacking the civil service was a serious provocation that was absolutely not allowed. However, the Spring Festival was approaching, so it was not good to make a big deal out of it. Otherwise, it would have been a different scene. Sister, Why don't you stay here for the new year? Hearing that Guisairu insisted on leaving, Guizhonghe felt uneasy. I'm fine, Guisairu said with a smile. Her face did not look very good. Well, be careful on the road, Guizhonghe said. Write me a letter when you get back. Quickly find a reliable doctor. After the new year, quickly go to Wang Yao's place. Oh, I know, Guizhonghe said. You be careful here too. Well, I know what to do. Guizhonghe personally sent his sister to the nearest airport and watched her get on the plane. Nothing must happen to her, Guizhonghe said. In the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, at Miaoxi River's residence, Miao Chongqing's upper body was naked. His body was full of bloody wounds. They were all pulled out by rattan dipped in salt water. Father, I was wrong. Miao Chongqing's face was pale as he knelt on the ground. His body trembled uncontrollably, and he looked like he was about to faint. Water. A bucket of cold water was poured over his body. Raise your head and look at me, Miaoxi River said coldly. Miao Chongsheng, who was sober, raised his head and looked at his biological father. Do you know where you went wrong? I understand, father. You're at fault, and so am I, Miaoxi said. You're my son, but that doesn't mean I'll side with you. What you did outside yesterday seriously threatened the safety of the stockade. If the heritage of the stockade, which has been passed down for hundreds of years, is destroyed because of your mistake, you deserve to die. Do you understand? I know. I was wrong, father. Take him out and deal with him according to the rules. Patriarch, it's already the new year. What do you think? Can the rules be broken during the new year? Miaoxi River said coldly. Yes, just like that. Miao Chongsheng was taken out and tied to a big tree in the middle of the village. His upper body was naked, and his body was covered with wounds. What happened? Isn't that the patriarch's son, Chongsheng? Yes, what did he do wrong? The people in the stockade were very surprised because this punishment had not been carried out for a long time. No one had made such a mistake, so it was not necessary to carry it out. Oh, he really did it. What did he do wrong? The Miao Qing Feng, who was injured but could still move around, looked at the young man tied to the tree. He was very surprised. He asked the people who went out with Miaoxi River. He put a goo bug in someone. Put a goo bug in someone outside the stockade. Yes. Did someone die? No. The patriarch saved him. Putting a goo bug is indeed against the rules, but he didn't die. He shouldn't have done this. After all, he is his son. Ah, who did he put the goo bug in? Miao Qing Feng asked. The sister of Secretary Guo of He County. What? Miao Qing Feng was stunned. These people didn't know what kind of family Secretary Guo was from, but he knew. He also knew what kind of person the patriarch's only son was. He was good at everything except for one thing. He liked pretty girls. He made a mistake in the stockade and was grounded by the patriarch for half a year. He thought that things would be better, but he didn't expect that he would cause such a big trouble. If the Guo family wanted to take revenge, it would be very scary. No wonder the patriarch was angry. He sighed. Miao Chongsheng was tied to the tree for the whole day and night. He couldn't eat and could only drink water. Huff! Hiss! The next day, the sun rose, and he was still tied to the tree. 3 days passed in a row. 3 days. 3 days later, the annual spring festival came. He was released, and the stockade became lively. It was a custom passed down for hundreds of years. It was very lively. Thousands of miles away in Jing, the Guo family was a bit quiet during the spring festival. The father and son were away for the spring festival and couldn't come back. There were only the mother and daughter at home, so it was a bit quiet. Sairu, I think you should eat more. Okay. Since coming back from He County in southern Yunnan, Guisairu's face didn't look good. It was slightly yellow. Her mother was very worried. After the spring festival, you could go to Wang Yao's place to have a look. Okay, Guisairu said. In a mountain village, there were spring festival couplets, firecrackers, and cooking meat in big pots. It was a lively spring festival. Wang Yao's mother cooked a table full of dishes. It was very sumptuous. Wang Yao drank a few glasses of wine with his father. He also took the meat cooked by his mother to Nanshan Hill for the dogs, eagles, and snakes on the mountain. Come eat more. Happy Spring Festival, San Xian de Xia Xiaohei. Woof, woof. San Xian barked happily. I won't be on the mountain tonight. I guess I won't be on the mountain for the next few days. I'll leave the mountain to you guys. Woof, woof. Jiazazai and Humei were also busy for several days. They steamed buns and steamed flour cakes. The couple had been busy since the 26th of December. Zhong Luchuan and Zhong Anxin were also busy. This was their first spring festival in the village. They were very happy. How about we gather together? Jiazazai asked. This? Zhong Luchuan was stunned. I think it's okay, Humei said with a smile. They were originally neighbors. It's also lively if we gather together. Anxin? Okay, Zhong Anxin said. Well, come to my house. We'll have New Year's Eve dinner together. The two families gathered together to have New Year's Eve dinner. Humei was busy cooking a table full of dishes. In the evening, the family gathered together to watch the Spring Festival Gala. That night, Wang Yao didn't stop calling until after 10 o'clock. Some people called to wish him and his family a Happy New Year, while others called to wish his elders, relatives, and friends a Happy New Year. The next day, on the first day of the Spring Festival, he visited the village. On the second day of the Spring Festival, he went up the mountain to visit the graves and worship the ancestors. In the afternoon, Wang Yao left the mountain village and took a plane to Jing. He went to the Su family's house to wish them a Happy New Year and pick up Su Xiaoxue. He first met Su Xiaoxue's mother and then went to his second aunt's house. Su Xiaoxue's family usually didn't go back during the Spring Festival. They didn't have any relatives in Jing. When they saw Wang Yao, they were very happy and insisted that he stay for dinner. Wang Yao finally declined. He then went to the small courtyard where he lived for a long time to wish Chening and Qinzhou a Happy New Year. It was already noon by the time they finished. He and Su Xiaoxue took a plane back to the mountain village that night. Wang Yao's parents had been waiting at home for a long time. His sister and brother-in-law also stayed at home that day. It was very lively when the whole family was together. Wang Ru's belly was very big. The expected date of delivery was in more than a month. The next day, Wang Yao drove Su Xiaoxue to visit the main relatives. He took her to visit them as a way of paying a New Year's visit. Are you tired? I'm fine, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. I'll be fine after today. By the way, we won't eat at home after we go back. Let's go to Jiazazai's house, okay? Okay, I'll listen to you, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. Jiazazai had invited him to get together since the first day of the Spring Festival. It was difficult to refuse. Chapter 963. They had been busy the whole day. In the afternoon, an unexpected guest came to the mountain village. Sister Sairu, Xiaoxue. It was Guo Sairu. She did not look well. She was a little pale and listless. She was no longer as beautiful and capable as before. Happy New Year. Sorry to disturb you. Happy New Year. Come, let's go inside. I don't want to go inside. Let's go to the clinic. Wang Yao could tell that Guo Sairu was sick. She had been poisoned by a poisonous insect. Oh, okay. The three of them went to the clinic. This was the first patient in the new year of the lunar calendar. Wang Yao boiled a bowl of medicine for Guo Sairu and gave it to her to drink. How did you get poisoned? Wang Yao wondered. I went to He County before the new year, Guo Sairu said. I accidentally got poisoned at the place where Zheng He worked. Oh, no wonder, Wang Yao said. The two poisoned patients I saw before were related to that place. It's better not to go there. He did not have a good impression of Guo Zheng He, but he had a very good impression of the woman in front of him. She was beautiful, capable, generous, and well-educated. She was a typical lady from a wealthy family. Okay, Guo Sairu nodded gently. Ever since she came back from Dianan, her body had been very heavy. She was very sleepy, and it was getting worse. She knew that it must be because the venomous insects had not been completely removed. Her family, especially her brother, even went straight home from He County to visit her and persuade her to come here immediately to see Wang Yao. She waited for 2 days before coming. Well, I'll prescribe some medicine for you to nurse your body back to health. Okay. Wang Yao went to the room next door to boil the medicine. Guo Sairu and Su Xiaoxue held hands and talked. They were good sisters when they were in Jing. When Su Xiaoxue was sick, Guo Sairu often visited her. What did you come? Did you spend the new year here? No, I came on the third day of the new year. The two of them talked about trivial things. Wang Yao boiled a bowl of regather soup for Guosairu. Here, a bowl. Thank you. After drinking a bowl of medicine, it didn't take long for him to feel much better. Sir, Zhong Luchuan came in from outside. Oh, we'll be there in a bit. All right. Sister Sairu, it's getting late. Why don't you stay here tonight? My house has already been cleaned, and there's no one living there. Why don't you come together tonight? Zhong Luchuan asked with a smile. Guosairu was stunned. Sure, Su Xiaoxiu said. This, isn't it inappropriate? There's nothing inappropriate about it, Wang Yao said with a smile. We're all friends. Why don't we go together? Sure. Guosairu nodded. Let's go. After taking the two medicines, the poison in her body was completely cured, and her body felt a lot more comfortable. For the arrival of this beauty, Umei and Jiazizai were naturally very welcoming. Sir, shall we sign the white one? Sure, white. Well, how about my and Ms. Gua? Well, Sister Sairu just took the medicine, so she can't drink, Wang Yao said. I'll drink less red wine. Sure. Jiazizai clapped her hands. They busied themselves for the whole afternoon, preparing a sumptuous dinner. Well, Humei's cooking is getting better and better. Sir, you flatter me. Everyone had a very happy meal, as if they were a family. Guosairu was also very happy. She felt warm and happy there. It was different from when she was with her family at home. There was a little more freedom there. In the evening, Guosairu went to Su Xiaoxiu's residence. The two of them lived there. Coincidentally, they lived behind Zhong Liuchuan's house. If there was anything, they could hear it by shouting. In the evening, Su Xiaoxiu accompanied Guosairu and talked a lot. Xiaoxiu, I really envy you, Guosairu said softly. Envy me? Yes, you can live the life you want, Guosairu said. Unlike me. Sister Sairu, is there something bothering you? Nothing. Guosairu smiled and waved. While the two of them were talking, Guo Zhenghe called to ask about her current situation. When he learned that she had received treatment and that she was fine, he breathed a sigh of relief. In He County, thousands of miles away. Uncle Su, I want to know more about Miao Changsheng. Understood. Guo Zhenghe immediately called Su Xinyan, who was far away in Jing, to arrange a mission. Understood, sir. Su Xinyuan immediately took action after receiving the call. He went straight to Tianjin and found Miao Changtang. Miao Changsheng? Yes, that's the name. He's the son of Miaoxi River, Miao Changtang said. He's the only son of Miaoxi River who is still alive. You said that he's at least in his 70s, and his son is only in his 20s? Who said his son is in his 20s? Miao Changtang asked. Miao Changsheng is actually older than me. He's at least 35 this year. However, Miao Shi used a special method, which was a secret art from the village, to prolong his life and keep him young. That's right, Miao Changtang said. Is it really that amazing? I told you, he's indeed very capable. Tell me more about Miao Changsheng. I don't know much about him, Miao Changtang said. In truth, the people in the village knew little about him. He was forced to train by Miaoxi River almost all the time. The slightest mistake would get him locked up. Miaoxi River had 2 children in the past, but they both died during the chaos in the village. Yeah, I've heard some rumors about him. He seems to be obsessed with beautiful women. Yeah, you don't have to be so tactful about it, Su Xinyuan said with a smile. So, he doesn't leave the village? I don't know much about that. In truth, we hardly see him in the village. Miao Changtang is very strict with him. He's probably worried that he'll cause trouble. Su Xinyuan only replied to Guo Zhenghe after learning more about the situation. Guo Zhenghe paced back and forth in his office after learning all that. He lowered his head and thought about what to do. This is going to be difficult to deal with. He could not just let the person who hurt his sister get away with it. However, he was unable to think of a good way to deal with that person. That person was currently hiding in that remote valley of thousands of medicine, hiding like a turtle. Furthermore, Miao Changtang did not have any real evidence. He had no idea where to start looking for trouble. It's just a matter of time, Guo Zhenghe thought. Regardless of whether it was for his family or for himself. The valley of thousands of medicine had to be dealt with. Chapter 964. As time passed, the festive mood gradually faded. The holidays ended one after another, and people began to go to work as usual. Life still had to go on as usual. Reunions and entertainment were no longer possible. Sometimes, the symbolic meaning of the year was more significant. Guisairu stayed in the village for 2 days before leaving. By the time she left, the curse in her body had been completely cured. After 2 days of recovery, her body had basically recovered to its original state. Her complexion looked a lot rosier. "Thank you. Thank you so much," Guisairu said. "You're welcome," Wang Yao said with a smile. "I'll take my leave now." "Be careful, Sis Sairu," Su Xiaoxua said. "Sure." Guisairu left. She came and left alone. She looked rather lonely. Sis Sairu's family arranged a marriage for her, but she didn't like it, Su Xiaoxua said softly as she looked at Guisairu's back. "Is that so? She didn't refuse?" "In a family like that, there are some things that cannot be decided by oneself," Su Xiaoxua said. She felt very fortunate about that. Her family's attitude toward her marriage was different from other big families. Perhaps it was because she had suffered too much. She was able to find someone she liked. There was no need for her to consider marriage. She enjoys the scenery that ordinary people can't, and she has to take on responsibilities that ordinary people can't even imagine, Wang Yao said. "Yeah, all right, let's not talk about these things. Where do you want to go?" "Nanshan." "Sure, Nanshan it is." Su Xiaoxua had come to like Nanshan over the past few days. She mainly liked the feeling of staying there with Wang Yao. The entire mountain was their world. There were trees, fruits, birds, and insects on the mountain. The two of them stayed on the mountain, chatting and enjoying the scenery. They did not feel bored, even if they stayed there for a whole day. Time passed quickly. In Tianjin, thousands of miles away, it feels good to be alive. "Meow," Changtang exclaimed. "You've been cured of the goo poison?" Miao Qingyuan was very surprised to see him again. He was very clear about how powerful the poison in the stockade was. Moreover, other than the people in the stockade who could detoxify these poisons, as far as he knew, only Wu San from Yaojiang could detoxify them. Because they were from the same sect, strictly speaking, he was the junior brother of Miaoxi River. Back then, he had also learned from the old patriarch for quite a long time. Moreover, his talent was outstanding and was praised by the old patriarch. These were all hearsay, and he had never seen it with his own eyes. "It's solved. King Pharmacist of Miaojiang." "Not him," Miao Changtang said with a smile. "Someone else." He felt very close to this fellow villager in front of him, especially after what happened last time. In his situation, he was faced with the possibility of being discovered by the people in the stockade and being in danger of being retaliated against. Yet, he still came to visit him. This person was definitely someone he could make friends with. People from the same hometown might not necessarily be of the same mind. Someone else? Other than the people in the stockade and him, is there anyone else who can detoxify the goo poison in the stockade? "To be honest, I didn't believe it at first," Miao Changtang said. "However, he does have what it takes. Furthermore, he was able to tell that I was poisoned with just one look. He didn't even bother to make a proper diagnosis before using a bowl of medicine to detoxify the goo poison in my body. It was very easy. It was as if it was something very common for him. It was not difficult at all." "Is that so? Where is he?" "In a small mountain village in the north." "The north?" Miao Qingyuan was very surprised to hear that. "Yes, in a small mountain village in Qi province. He's a very young doctor." "He's very young." "Yeah, he looks to be in his 20s. "The more you tell me, the more surprised I am and the more I can't believe it," Miao Qingyuan said. "It's not just you," Miao Chengtang said. "Even I wouldn't have believed that such a young person in that place could be so capable if I hadn't experienced it myself." Now that he thought about it, what happened that day still felt rather surreal. "But it really did work out," Miao Changtang said with great emotion. "I'm still alive. What do you plan to do next? Leave this place?" "Leave? Why would I leave?" Miao Changtang asked. "If they know you're here and have poisoned you, I'm sure they'll come back soon to confirm if you're dead or not, Miao Qing Yuan said. If they know you're still alive, they'll think of ways to poison or goo poison you. Should I hide and give in to them? Miao Chengtang asked. He had been thinking about that for the past few days. What do you think? I want to fight back, Miao Chengtang said after staying silent for a while. Fight back? How? Miao Qing Yuan was very surprised to hear that. He had thought about getting revenge before, but it was the person before him who had told him to cherish the life he had, which was hard to come by. At that moment, the tables seemed to have turned. It was the other party who wanted revenge. I haven't thought about the specifics yet, but I can't just rely on what I know, Miao Chengtang said. I'll need Su Xin Yuan and the people behind him. You might not know this, but something happened in He County. Something happened again? Yeah, Miaoxi River's son almost ruined a girl, Miao Chengtang said. That girl is no simple person. Someone from the Guo family? Yeah, the young lady of the Guo family. Huh. Miaoxi River has always been very strict with his children, Miao Chengtang said. Furthermore, Miao Changsheng spent most of his time training in seclusion after that incident. Why would he come out with him this time and make such a low-level mistake? Is the young lady of the Guo family just too alluring? I don't know the specifics, Miao Chengtang said, but Secretary Guo is very angry. That's for sure. Su Xin Yuan came to me right after the incident and asked me about Miao Changsheng. Is he going to make a move? I've thought about it, Miao Chengtang said. He won't for the time being because there's still Miao Tianquan. Last year, there was a large-scale poisoning in He County. He relied on the Miaoxi River's help to resolve the crisis. Before Miao Tianquan is taken care of, they won't have a falling out. It was worth noting that Miao Chengtang's analysis of the situation was on point. Their relationship will remain that way for quite some time, Miao Chengtang said. Miao Tianquan is not someone who can be captured or killed that easily. Yeah, before that happens, all I need to do is make sure I'm still alive, Miao Chengtang said. After that, I'll think about whether or not there's any way I can make the Miaoxi River make the same mistake again. For example? For example, in Tianjin, Miao Chengtang said. What do you mean? Miao Qing Yuan's expression changed. Tianjin was different from He County. It was a first-tier city, which could also be considered an international metropolis. If something like what happened in He County were to happen there, the repercussions would be huge. The authorities would not be able to deal with it as hard and as deep as what happened in He County. You'll hurt the innocent. Try to avoid it, Miao Chengtang said. Let's just wait. The method he was considering was to use himself as bait to lure the people in the village. If they made the same mistake again, they would have to take a huge risk. If there's nothing else, don't come looking for me, Miao Chengtang said. It won't be good for you and your family. I'll remember what you've done for me. He meant what he said. Sigh. We're from the same village. After all, Miao Qing Yuan lamented. Look at how things have turned out. I can't even live a peaceful life, and I have to live in fear all the time. It would be a lie to say that he was not worried. He was very worried that his family would be implicated and punished by the village for what happened. What they did was worse than death. Just bear with it. Miao Chengtang sounded helpless. There was nothing he could do about it. That was how things were at the moment. The situation was compelling. If he insisted on getting revenge, he would have died. It was just as Miao Chengtang and Miao Qing Yuan had analyzed. The news of Miao Chengtang being poisoned and still alive quickly spread to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. He's still alive? Yeah. Someone help him get rid of the curse. Could it be Masters Jr.? No matter how I think about it, he's the only one capable of doing something like that, Miaoxi River said. But, logically speaking, that shouldn't be the case. How about this? Poison him again, Miao Qing Yuan said. Follow him closely and see who helped him get rid of the curse. Yes. Chapter 965. Sure, I'll make the arrangements right away, the Miao Qingfeng said. Interesting. Who would have the ability to get rid of the poison of the goo bug in the village? Other than the people in the village and Wu San, whom he should have addressed as uncle, he was unable to think of anyone else capable of doing so. It was a curse, after all. Only those who had come into contact with it knew how terrifying and difficult it was to treat. Who could it be? He was eager to know, or rather, to get to know that friend of his. He quickly arranged for someone to go to Tianjin and pay a visit to that fellow who lived thousands of miles away. At that moment, Miao Chengtang boarded a train heading south in Tianjin, which was thousands of miles away. He went to Lianshan County that night and found a hotel to stay the night. When he arrived at the village early the next morning, he found that the clinic was not open yet. He waited outside alone. It did not take long for him to see 3 people coming from the mountain path. They were none other than Zhong Luchuan and the others, who had just returned from training on Easter Mountain. Huh? Jia Zizai was rather surprised. Someone is here to deliver gifts right after the New Year. Are they here to see you, sir? The 3 of them walked up to Miao Chengtang as they chatted. Here to see a doctor? Yeah. Miao Chengtang hurriedly nodded. Let's wait a little longer. He'll probably be here soon. Sure, thank you. You're welcome. After the 3 of them left, Miao Chengtang waited for nearly 20 minutes before seeing Wang Yao and a very beautiful woman coming from the north. Wang Yao had originally intended to stay away from seeing patients for the next few days and spend time with Su Xiaoxue. However, Su Xiaoxue had advised him to open the clinic. She was worried that someone would come all the way there only to be unable to see a doctor because of Baiji. If that were to happen, the person would have made the trip for nothing. So, Wang Yao chose a compromise. He opened the clinic the next day in the morning. Actually, not many people come to see a doctor at this time. Everyone is busy visiting their friends and family. As they spoke, they arrived outside the clinic. They were surprised to see Miao Chengtang standing outside with a gift. The man looked rather awkward when he saw Wang Yao. Look, sir, someone is here to see you, right? It's you. Happy New Year, Dr. Wang. Happy New Year. Yeah, I'm here to thank you and apologize, Miao Chengtang said. I'm sorry about how I acted last time. I was too impulsive. After all, it was Wang Yao who had saved his life. Although the medical fees were a little too expensive, if he could choose again, he would pay without hesitation. After all, money was nothing compared to his own life. Moreover, he also knew that the king of medicine, Wu San, who was thousands of miles away and had a great relationship with the stockade, had very strict conditions for treating patients. It was not just a matter of medical fees. It was possible that even if you had money, the other party would not treat you. In comparison, Wang Yao's conditions were much easier to accept. Before the new year, Miao Chengtang had been impulsive. He had only said and done what he did because he was in a dire situation. He regretted it afterward, especially when he knew how terrifying the rules of the stockade were. If he had been able to build a good relationship with Wang Yao, he would have been able to come to Wang Yao for treatment if anyone in the stockade tried to put curses or poison him. That would have alleviated or even solved the problems he worried about the most. It was because of those thoughts that he came to Wang Yao right after the new year. He had traveled thousands of miles just to apologize and express his sincerity. Oh, Wang Yao was rather surprised to hear that. He did not expect Miao Chengtang to come all the way to apologize. That came as quite a surprise to him. Come in. Wang Yao had no idea what Miao Chengtang was thinking. But since Miao Chengtang had come all the way to apologize, there was no way he could just let him stand outside the door. He went into the clinic and sat down. Here's a token of my appreciation, Miao Chengtang said as he put the gift on the table. There's no need for that. Wang Yao waved his hand. He usually did not accept gifts from people he did not know well. Miao Chengtang looked rather awkward. What he said next was a few words that were neither painful nor itchy. That was because he did not know Wang Yao's personality and background, so he did not know what to say. Miao Chengtang was unable to stay for long under such circumstances. He got up and prepared to leave after staying for only a few minutes. Take the gift back, Wang Yao said. I can't do that, Miao Chengtang said. After arguing for a while, Wang Yao finally accepted his gift. He also gave Miao Chengtang a box of tea as a return gift. They were even now. He did not want to have too much to do with the people from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Take care. Miao Chengtang felt rather disappointed when he left. He was able to tell that Wang Yao did not seem to like him very much. You don't seem to like that person very much. Yeah, to be precise, I don't want to have too much to do with the place he's from, Wang Yao said. The place he's from? Come, sit down, Wang Yao said with a smile. I'll tell you about it. He made a cup of tea and told Su Xiaoxue about the Valley of Thousands of Medicine in detail. He did not hold back anything he knew, and he did not think there was a need to. Sacred medicine? Immortality? Su Xiaoxue was very surprised when she heard Wang Yao talk about those things. Are you surprised? Yeah, there are actually people who want to do those things. Yeah, he's probably not just thinking about it, Wang Yao said. He's actually doing it. Do you think he'll succeed? Succeed? Do you think that's possible? Wang Yao asked. Since ancient times, countless people had sought immortality, but no one had ever succeeded. Come, have some tea. Thank you. The tea was camellia from Nanshan. Wang Yao had hired someone to make it. He had tried frying it himself. The taste was extraordinary. It had a unique aroma and spirit. In Tianjin, thousands of miles away, the person from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine found that the person he had been following was gone. Did he run away? He wanted to ask the landlord who rented the place, but he was afraid of exposing his whereabouts. Let's wait a little longer. He decided to stay there for the time being. He chose to stay near Miao Qingtang's place. What? He's gone? Yeah. I'm not sure if he's gone somewhere else. Let's wait a couple of days and see. Sure. Miao Qingtang had already boarded the train back to Tianjin. The trip did not turn out well. He wanted to get Wang Yao's forgiveness. It would have been best if he could have changed the bad impression he had left on the man. However, Wang Yao's reaction was very cold. It was as if he did not want to have too much to do with him. Does he know something about the Valley of Thousands of Medicine? Miao Qingtang thought as he sat on the speeding train. It's unlikely. He's in the north. That village is too far away from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine in southern Yunnan. Furthermore, no one from the village would come here. Is it because of how I treated him last time? If that's the case, isn't he a little too narrow-minded? He thought about a lot, worrying about his gains and losses. That night, he returned to Tianjin, where he rented the place. The night passed without incident. The sun was shining brightly in Tianjin the next morning. Miao Qingtang woke up early. After washing up, he prepared breakfast for himself. After having breakfast, he went out for a walk to stretch his body. The place he worked at was on the 8th day of the new year, so he had 2 days of free time. He did not notice that someone was following him when he went out shopping. On Nanshan Mountain, thousands of miles away, Master, what is this? In the herbal field, Su Xiaoxue pointed at a small sapling that was less than a foot tall. The sapling had purple leaves with silver hairs. It looked very beautiful. She had never seen such a plant before. It's Kongwood, Wang Yao said. The herb that Su Xiaoxue pointed at was the most precious top-grade spirit herb in the entire herbal field. It was Kongwood, which can make one's body light and stay young. Kongwood? Is it a herb as well? Yes, it is, Wang Yao said. It is a very precious herb. As of now, there is probably only one of it in the world. There is only one of it in the world. Chapter 966. Su Xiaoxue was very surprised. That herb was one of a kind. Anything that had anything to do with that word would be extremely precious. What does that herb do? It's very useful, Wang Yao said. It can calm the internal organs and get rid of all evil. Taking it for a long time will make one's body lighter and less old. That's awesome. Su Xiaoxue was shocked. Lighter and less old? Doesn't that make one immortal? I don't know exactly how magical it is, Wang Yao said. The herb hasn't grown yet. It's just a sprout. How long will it take for it to grow? It's hard to say, Su Xiaoxue said. From what I know, it takes 30 years for the herb to grow to 3 meters tall. Only then will it be suitable to be used as medicine. 30 years? That's a long time. How many 30 years can a person have? Taking it for a long time would make one's body lighter and less old. It's my first time growing something like that, Wang Yao said with a smile. I'm looking forward to it, Su Xiaoxue said as she stared at the Kongwood, which was less than a foot tall. In Tianjin, thousands of miles away, Miao Qingtang's expression was extremely ugly. He had just found out that he had been poisoned again. Damn it. Now, He was basically certain that there were people from the stockade keeping an eye on him in the vicinity of where he lived. Furthermore, it was a master of curses who had gotten close to him without him knowing and poisoned him. Who could it be? Has the elder from the stockade come out? Miao Qingding took a deep breath. He felt as if his stomach was being torn apart. This time, the situation was different from the first time he was poisoned. This time, the symptoms were a severe stomachache, diarrhea, and blood. He vomited whatever he ate. Whether it was his feces or vomit, he could see black worms the size of a thread. It was very disgusting and terrifying. I'll have to go there again. He only told one person about this situation, and that was Su Xinyuan. What? You've been poisoned again? Yeah, it's a different kind of poison. The people from the stockade should still be in Tianjin. If I'm not mistaken, they should be near where I live. Miao Changtang was not as flustered as he had been the last time he was poisoned. He was a lot calmer. If you see them, can you tell who they are? Close range is fine, Miao Changtang said. When he was in the stockade, he did not notice the difference between the people in the stockade and the people outside. However, after staying in Tianjin for some time, he realized that the people in the city and the people in the stockade were very easy to distinguish. He could tell at a glance, just like a drop of blood mixed in a clear water. How about this? I'll arrange for someone to go over immediately. You set off for Qi province immediately and look for Wang Yao. Well, I'm worried that he might not be willing to help this time. Miao Changtang voiced his concerns. He was able to clearly sense Wang Yao's cold attitude toward him whenever he visited. It was as if Wang Yao did not want to have too much contact with him. Maybe he knows how powerful the Valley of Thousands of Medicine is, Miao Changtang said. He doesn't want to put himself in danger because of me. No matter what, he is your only hope now. If you want to go, you must go. Okay, I'll go. Thank you. You're too kind, Su Xinyuan said. He did not expect Miao Changtang to attract so much hatred. He also underestimated the Valley of Thousands of Medicine's methods. If the first attempt failed, they would try again. They showed no mercy to traitors. Even if the traitor was thousands of miles away, as long as they knew where the traitor was, they would immediately find a way to punish the traitor. That kind of ruthlessness surprised him. An opponent like that sure is difficult to deal with. In truth, Miao Qingtang was not all that important to him. At the very least, he had been of limited use so far. All he had done was provide information that needed further verification. However, they had invested a lot in Miao Changtang. If they were to give up now, it would mean that all their early investments would have been for naught. It was like someone buying a luxury car for over $2 million only to find that the car had many major problems. It did not provide them with the kind of enjoyment they were supposed to enjoy. That was where the problem lay. Should they figure out how to fix those minor problems, or just give up on the car? Most people would probably choose to fix the car and make do with it. Of course, it would be a different story if one's family owned a mine or owned a bank. Su Xinyuan was not one of those people. The money he spent was not his own. It came from the Guo family. As such, he had to make sure that the money he spent was worth it. Since they had already invested so much money in Miao Changtang, they needed to keep investing to keep him alive. Unless the cost of keeping him alive was so great that it exceeded what they could possibly get out of him, there was no longer any value in using or helping him. It was time to give up on him. It was not yet time to do that. The car quickly arrived at his place. The driver quickly drove him away. Follow the car in front, the driver said. A car followed behind them. The car quickly left Tianjin and got on the highway. There's a car following us, the driver said. Yeah, we don't have to go too fast, Miao Changtang said in the car. They soon arrived at a service area. There was nothing they could do about it. His stomach was hurting badly, and he needed to find a place to relieve it. As a result, he ended up having terrible diarrhea. He had not eaten anything for the past few days, but he still suffered from vomiting and diarrhea every day. He could not even drink water. He did not even have the strength to stand up in the toilet. He had to hold on to the door handle to stand up shakily. If things were to continue like that, he might end up in some unknown toilet. His body would be found by the cleaners. Hang in there, hang in there. I have to hang in there. He kept cheering himself on. The car was still following them. Hurry up, The car behind us? Don't worry about it, Miao Changtang said. He cared about his own life the most at the moment. As for the car behind them and the people in it, they were put aside for the time being. If they wanted to fish, they would have to stay alive. The car sped up all of a sudden and sped along the highway. The car behind them was actually following them. Which direction are we going? Looks like we're coming from Qi Province. Qi Province? The car reached Lianshan County at night. Miao Changtang and the driver found a nearly closed hotel in town and stayed there. It was midnight. He sat up abruptly and rushed to the bathroom. He was still vomiting and having diarrhea. The toilet bowl was blood red, which was horrifying to look at. It was blood. Arg, arg. He struggled to move to the bed and lay down. He looked like a fish that was about to die on the beach. Huff, huff. He struggled to breathe. He had no energy left in him. He did not even have the strength to breathe. Right now, he was struggling at death's door. He looked at the time with much difficulty. There were still 6 hours before dawn. It would be a very difficult time. The next morning, the sun rose as usual. A car drove into the quiet mountain village at about 7 in the morning. It stopped outside the clinic at the south end of the village. Can you please go down and take a look? Is the clinic open? Miao Changtang asked weakly as he lay in the car. He was breathing in more than he was breathing out. Furthermore, he did not dare to move around too much. Even the slightest movement would cause him to feel excruciating pain in his abdomen. He also felt like he was about to lose control of his bladder. I haven't checked it yet. The driver quickly returned. Well, we'll wait and see. Keep an eye on it. Let me know as soon as you see it open. Will do, the driver said. He looked at the man behind him through the rearview mirror. The man's face was frighteningly pale. There was not a trace of blood on his face. Why is this even worse than the last time? He had been there the last time. He had wanted to make more money back then, but he regretted it right after. He was worried that the man would die in his car. He was there again. The reason was simple: money. He was even more worried at the moment. The man's condition was worse than the last time he was there. You have to hang in there. Please don't die in my car. He prayed deep down. Chapter 967. Some of the waiting made people anxious, such as Miao Changtang at the moment. He was close to the limit of what he could endure. If things continued like that, even if his body did not collapse, his mind would. Just as he was about to collapse, the driver's words seemed to give him a shot of confidence. Dr. Wong is here, the driver said. The clinic is open. That was great. His excitement made him feel as if tens of thousands of bugs were biting him. The pain was unbearable. Hurry up and get me there, Miao Changtang weakly said. At that moment, a car arrived in Lianshan County. They had been following the car all the way, but they lost track of it at a crucial moment. Where are we going next? Hold on. A middle-aged man sitting in the back seat thought about it. He's here to see a doctor, the middle-aged man said. Got it. The two of them got out of the car and looked around. They asked a few people before getting in the car. Let's go to the village. Yes, sir. The car started up again. They got off the road and onto a cement road. Inside the village's clinic, Dr. Wong, I'm sorry to trouble you again. Miao Changtang almost knelt when he entered the door. His body was too weak. You again? You've been poisoned again? Wang Yao took a look and knew what the problem was. The poison was different from the last one. What happened this time? Miao Changtang was just about to say something when the bugs in his abdomen began to churn again. His entire body twitched. Ugh. Blood rushed to his head. He was about to vomit. Wang Yao pressed at the air. Miao Changtang immediately felt a warm wind blowing at him. A gentle force hit his abdomen. The intense discomfort in his abdomen was quickly suppressed. How magical! Although it was not the first time he had seen or experienced something like that, he was still shocked when he saw it. They didn't kill me last time, but they're here again. It's a different type of bug poison, Wang Yao said. Yeah, it's abdominal pain, vomiting, and diarrhea this time. Wang Yao stared at Miao Changtang and was in no hurry to treat him. I've cured you this time. Will there be a next time? What? Miao Changtang was dumbfounded. He guessed that there would be a next time. Moreover, when he came, there was a car behind him. He didn't know if it had already followed him. I think so. Your illness is not caused by your body, nor is it caused by bad habits. It's caused by personal relationships and hatred. You can't do it more than 3 times. I can only save you 3 times at most. After that, don't come again. It's useless even if you come, Wang Yao said. Meow. Chung Tang fell silent. The treatment fee is the same as last time. Do you accept it? Accept. Now that things had come to this, he had to think of a way to save his own life first before thinking about the future. Okay, let's begin, Wang Yao said. Wait here. Wang Yao went next door to brew the medicine. There were only 3 people left in the room. Miao, Qingtang, the driver, and Su Xiaoxue. She had seen and heard everything that had happened, but she didn't say a word. Hello. Hello. Are you here for treatment as well? No, I'm his friend, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. Ah, hello, hello, Miao Changtang said. I'd like to ask if Dr. Wang has any hobbies. The discomfort he felt was temporarily suppressed by Wang Yao's unique and astonishing methods. After hearing what Su Xiaoxue said, Miao Chengtong's mind became active. Hobbies? Su Xiaoxue knew what he was thinking right away. Well, I'm not too sure about that. Sorry. Ah, thank you, Miao Chengtang said. He didn't know if she really didn't know or if she just didn't want to talk about it. After waiting for a while, Wang Yao entered the room with a bottle of medicine. Take this medicine 4 times over the next 2 days. Ah, sure. Miao Changtang followed Wang Yao's instructions and took a big gulp of the medicine. He carefully put the bottle away. That time, he paid without hesitation, even though his heart was bleeding. Thank you. You're welcome. He paid, took the medicine, and put it away. He wanted to say something else, but he found that he didn't know where to start. He didn't know what to say. The 2 of them didn't know each other at all, so he didn't know what to say. I'll take my leave then. Take care, Miao Changtang said. Sure. After taking the medicine, he didn't know if it was a psychological effect or if it was really that miraculous, but he felt a lot better. He had only taken a few steps out of the clinic when he suddenly came back. Seeing him come back, Wang Yao asked, Is there anything else? Well, Dr. Wang, I might have brought you a lot of trouble, Miao Changtang said. He suddenly realized the problem after he went out. The people from a village might have followed him to the mountain village and found Wang Yao. They would have definitely caused trouble for him. After hesitating for a bit, he decided to tell Wang Yao about it. What kind of trouble? Someone might have followed me here. Could it be someone from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine? Yeah. Wang Yao's expression immediately became very cold. What? He was very angry. Miao Changtang fell to his knees with a thump. In that instant, he felt a powerful aura rush at him. It was like a landslide or a tsunami. It made him tremble and feel fear. He was unable to resist. Kneeling was almost a reflex reaction. This is too scary. This is too scary. Just who is he? In that instant, he felt as if he was facing a completely different person. I'm sorry. The fear in his heart had yet to dissipate. Don't ever come back here again. Yes. Miao Changtang replied almost instinctively. Get out of here. Miao Changtang left the clinic in a daze. He did not even remember how he got out. Mr. Meow, what happened to you? The driver was shocked to see him in such a daze. Nothing. Miao Changtang came back to his senses a little and found himself in front of a car. He was sweating all over. That Wang Yao guy is definitely not just someone with frightening medical skills. He has other frightening abilities, just like the Miaoxi River. He was certain of that. He was from there. At that moment, a car drove into Mountain Village and headed straight for the clinic. The car stopped right outside the clinic. He really came here. The person in the car looked up at the building with black tiles and white walls. It was indeed easy to find in the Mountain Village. I'd like to see just who is inside and what kind of abilities he has. He got out of the car. Coincidentally, the car Miao Qingtang was in had just turned around and was about to leave. He stood in the middle of the road. The car was unable to pass and had to stop. The driver stuck his head out of the window and shouted, Hey, what are you doing? Get out of the way. What is it? Someone standing in the middle of the road. Miao Qingtang, I know you're in the car. The person standing in the middle of the road shouted at the car. Miao Changtang immediately felt a chill run down his spine. It was as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. Miao Zhengnan. He saw the person standing in the middle of the road through the windshield. Miao Chengtang rarely saw that person in the village. That person lived in seclusion. However, there were some people who were rarely seen, but that did not mean that people did not know them. Miao Zhengnan was a very famous person in the village. That was because he was very good at using curses. He usually lived in seclusion and did his research at home. He never expected the village to send someone like that to deal with him. It's you. Haha. I never expected you to be poisoned by 2 different curses and survive both times. Miao Zhengnan took a look at the clinic next to him. Is there someone powerful here? This has nothing to do with him, Miao Chengtang said loudly. Nothing to do with him? Miao Zhengnan asked. Haha. You can't even protect yourself now, and you're still thinking about others? What are you doing here? A young man with a cigarette in his mouth walked up to them. Although he had a cigarette in his mouth, he did not light it. Are you from outside? Yeah. Miao Chengtang nodded. What are you doing here? I'm looking for Dr. Wang. Chapter 968. You're here to see a doctor? Jia Zizai rubbed her chin and turned her eyes to Miao Zhengnan. What about you? I am here to see a patient, Miao Zhengnan said with a smile. Is that so? Jia Zizai looked at him carefully. Get out of here and don't cause any trouble. He sounded very casual when he said that, but Miao Zhengnan's expression changed when he heard that. The person before him was no ordinary person. Miao Zhengnan was able to sense an unusual aura from him. Most importantly, he was dangerous. Miao Zhengnan chuckled. What do you mean by he? Jia Zizai asked with a smile. Miao Zhengnan smiled and sized up Jia Zizai. Out of the way, out of the way. Jia Zizai dragged him to the side. Don't touch him, Miao Chengtang hurriedly said. However, it was too late. Jia Zizai had already done what he said. He moved too quickly. Miao Zhengnan stumbled from being dragged. Good, very good. Miao Zhengnan was not upset. He smiled. In his eyes, Jia Zizai was already a dead man. He has poison on him, Miao Chengtang said. Poison? What kind of poison? Jia Zizai was shocked to hear that. Syphilis. Jia Zizai's face was full of embarrassment. What the F***CK? Miao Zhengnan almost choked to death when he heard that. Although he had spent a lot of time in the village and rarely went out, he still knew what that meant. D***M in it. D***M in it. His eyes widened. What are you doing? At this time, Wang Yao came out of the clinic and saw the group of people. Zizai, sir, he is standing in the middle of the road. He seems to be looking for trouble. Ah, he seems to be infected with syphilis, Jia Zizai said. He had actually heard Wang Yao's warning loud and clear. What he meant was that the other party was poisoned. That was great. He had been trained to be immune to all kinds of poisons by Wang Yao's unique methods. Snakes and rats would have avoided him easily. Furthermore, he had tested it on poisonous bugs. That was indeed the case. He wanted to know if he was truly immune to all kinds of poisons. Of course, there was no way he was going to try something like drinking arsenic. Now that he was in the county, it was time to give it a try. Is that so? Wang Yao stared at Miao Zhengnan. The valley of thousands of medicine. You beat Miao Chengtang up twice? Yes. What are you doing here? I want to see who had the ability to get rid of the poison in our village. I didn't expect him to be so young. You saw it. I did. Don't ever come here again. Not just you, but everyone in your village as well. Or else. Wang Yao pressed his hand in the air. With a thump, Miao Zhengnan fell to his knees. His body was trembling. Because he was struggling so hard, the veins on his neck and face bulged. He felt as if he was carrying a mountain on his back. He was unable to move. Even if he were to use all of his strength, he would not have been able to move an inch. How? How'd he do that? Miao Zhengnan's mind was in a state of shock. He was extremely shocked. Is he even human? Zizai had only pressed his hand in the air. He had not pressed his hand on Miao Zhengnan's body. Wang Yao slowly walked up to Miao Zhengnan and tapped him a few times. Remember what I said today. He then turned around and walked toward the driver. The driver was so scared that he dared not move. You too. He opened the door and tapped the driver a few times. What's the point of coming all the way here? Zazai, see him out. Yes, sir, Jia Zazai said. Please leave. Don't ever come here again. Remember that. Jia Zazai said in an exasperated tone. It was only because they were training themselves that they did so. If it had been in the past, they would have made a move. A dead opponent was the best opponent. That was the principle that he had once believed in. Miao Zhengnan left with frustration, anger, and helplessness. He wanted to throw a tantrum, but he managed to hold himself back. That was not the place. There were surveillance devices nearby. Furthermore, he did not have what it took. Wang Yao had pressed his hand in the air, and he had lost all ability to resist. That was a godly skill. Not even the chief was capable of something like that. How could someone so young be capable of something like that? Uncle, are we going back? Let's wait a bit longer. We can't let Miao Changtang go back alive just like that. Also, that guy who dragged me was cursed as well. Since that guy was able to save Miao Changtang, he should have been able to get rid of the curse on him as well. Yeah, Miao Zhengnan clutched his stomach as he spoke. He felt immense pain in his stomach all of a sudden. It was as if his intestines were all twisted together. His chest felt as if someone had grabbed his heart and squeezed it hard. It hurts. It hurts. The intense pain assaulted him in an instant. His face turned pale, and his body was drenched in sweat. What the hell? He immediately realized that it was the young man's doing. What's going on? I just hit myself a few times, and I'm already having such a strong reaction. Is this just temporary? Or will always be like this? With a squeak, the car suddenly braked. Without any warning, it stopped in the middle of the road. Fortunately, it was on such a small road in the mountain village. If it was on the road with a lot of traffic, it might lead to a serial car accident. What's wrong? He saw that the driver in front of him had a pale face and was clutching his stomach. My stomach hurts a lot all of a sudden. With a pale face, he clutched his stomach and hunched over. It seemed that he was in a lot of pain. Beep, beep, beep. Another car came from behind and kept honking. Phew, phew. He wanted to move the car, but his body was in so much pain that he didn't dare to move. Every time he moved, he would break out in cold sweat. What's going on? The driver in front kept honking, but he realized that the car in front of him wouldn't move. He got angry and got out of the car. He walked up to the driver and saw that the driver's face was pale. He was clutching his stomach and lying on the steering wheel. Damn it. Brother, are you okay? It hurts. Well, do you want me to call an ambulance for you? Okay. The driver nodded. He subconsciously looked at the back seat. Although he couldn't see clearly because of the window paper, he could roughly see that the person sitting in the back seat wasn't in a better condition. What's going on? Are you guys sick? Miao Zhengnan, who was sitting in the back seat, had already put 2 pills into his mouth. The pills were the treasures of their village. They were drugs made by Chief Miaoshi River using all kinds of herbs. Some of them were even legendary herbs. The pills were able to remove poison, detoxify, stop bleeding, and relieve pain. They were very effective. After taking the pill, it really worked. Soon, the pain subsided. It works. Come on, take this. It doesn't hurt anymore, the young man who was driving said. What? It doesn't hurt anymore? Miao Zhengnan was stunned. Yes. So, it wasn't the pills that worked. It was naturally subsiding. Let's go. Will it act up again if we leave like this? Now that he was on a small road in the countryside, it was nothing to have an attack. However, if he was driving on the road and the disease suddenly acted up, it would be fatal. There was a high chance that the car would crash and he would die. Well, Miao Zhengnan thought for a while. How about this? Put the car aside first. We'll wait and see, Miao Zhengnan said. Okay. They parked the car by the side and waited in the car. Bang, bang, bang. The man in the back saw them move the car away and knocked on the window. Buddy, are you okay? I'm fine. Thanks. Ah, as long as you're fine. The man was a warm-hearted person. Buddy, listen to me, the man said. Go to the hospital if you're not feeling well. Don't let a minor illness turn into a major one. Got it. The man drove away. After he left, the 2 people from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine waited in the car. They wanted to see when the pain would come again. In the village, who was that man? Miao Zhengnan, Miao Changtang said. He's an expert in the use of curses in the village. He rarely comes out. He came with me this time. I'm sorry for causing you so much trouble. It was no ordinary trouble. It was big trouble. Outsiders might not know, but Miao Changtang knew very well what would happen if they were targeted by his village. Chapter 969. Although they were thousands of miles away, they knew where Wang Yao was. Given the methods used by those in the village, it would have been impossible for them to take revenge without anyone noticing, unless Wang Yao moved away. Are they going to come back? Most likely, Miao Changtang said. The curse in the village can only be cured in the village, Miao Changtang said. There is no place for someone like Dr. Wang to exist. I'm sorry. It was partly out of sincerity and partly out of fear. Miao Zhongnan, who had been terrified by Wang Yao's gesture, had knelt on the ground with a thud. He had clearly seen it. That was too miraculous, wasn't it? It was simply a godly skill. He could not afford to offend a young man like that. What do you mean? Jia Zizai asked. She was able to tell that something was amiss. All right, you guys can leave. From now on, don't ever come back. Wang Yao waved his hand coldly. Miao Changtang left in exasperation. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. Sir, come, let's talk inside, Wang Yao said. Sure. Jia Zizai made another pot of tea after they entered the house. Wang Yao told her everything that had happened in detail. Trouble is brewing here, Jia Zizai said. Sir, would you like me to go out and kill those two? According to Wang Yao, those two had been hit by what he had done to them. Their stomach aches would flare up 3 times a day, and they would not be able to move once the pain started, let alone drive. That meant that those 2 people were still in Lianshan County, which made it easy for him to catch up with them. Given his abilities, it would have been a piece of cake for him to take care of those 2 without making a sound and get rid of their bodies. Jia Zizai was dumbfounded when he said that. She looked at him, which made Jia Zizai feel rather awkward. He chuckled. No, let them go, Wang Yao said. Killing people at the drop of a hat was not the way to handle things. Tell your friends over there to keep an eye on them. Yes, sir. All right. Miao Changtang was right, Wang Yao said with a smile. That guy had poison on him. You were poisoned when you bumped into him. Jia Zizai had indeed been poisoned, but he had gotten rid of it. The herbs he had given to the 3 of them were indeed effective. So you're saying that we're really immune to poison? Invulnerable to poison? Su Xiaoxue was very curious. It's like this. Sir gave the 3 of us some medicinal herbs for our skin. After taking it, we will be immune to all kinds of poisons and will be repelled by snakes and mice, Jia Zizai said. There is such a medicine. Su Xiaoxue looked at Wang Yao with a smile. Can I drink it too? Of course, Wang Yao said with a smile. You want to try? Okay, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. No problem. Jia Zizai did not stay for too long before leaving. She told Humei and Zhong Luchuan about what had happened. I can't believe something like this actually happened, Zhong Luchuan said. What if they come again? Then, we'll make sure they don't leave. Zhong Luchuan was very calm when he said that. It was as if he was talking about something simple, but he had the ability to do it. He had absolute confidence in that. Yeah, that's what I think too. Outside the mountain village, the 2 people from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine waited by the side of the road for over an hour, but they did not find anything wrong with their bodies. Are you okay? Not necessarily. How about this? We won't leave today. We'll find a place to stay. Sure. The driver drove the car to town with trepidation. The 2 of them found a hotel to stay in. When it was close to evening, the pain suddenly came again. This time, it was as painful as before. There was no way to suppress it. The pain lasted for about 5 minutes. After holding on for a while, the 2 of them were soaked in sweat. It was as if they had been fished out of the water. It was too painful. They finally endured it again. Miao Jingnan's face turned pale because of the pain. He did not immediately recover in a short time. He was extremely angry. He wanted to go to the mountain village and torture the doctor to death with the most ruthless means. However, his rationality told him that he could not. The doctor's means were too strange. He might not be a match for him even if he went there. Moreover, He did not know what the strange disease in his body was. He did not know if it would continue to worsen and threaten their lives. Therefore, the doctor could not die for the time being. "Uncle, what should we do?" "Wait a little longer," Miao Zhongnan said. They stayed in the hotel and communicated with the people in the village. They told Miao Qingfeng what had happened on the other end of the phone. "Tell me the name of the mountain village again." As soon as he heard Miao Zhongnan mention the name of the mountain village, he felt that it was familiar. He seemed to have heard it somewhere before. "Here? Okay, I got it. You guys be careful. If you can't do it, come back immediately." After hanging up the phone, he immediately made a call to someone. "Inghao, can I ask you something?" "Where is it?" "Is his name Wang Yao?" "Okay, I got it." After he finished speaking, he hung up. "It's really there." After thinking about it, he left the house and went to Miaoshi River's place. He told the Miaoshi River what had happened. "A young man who can cure the poison in the village?" "Yes, Inghao's master and senior should have been killed by him," the Miao Qingfeng said. "This person has very high kung fu. He is not afraid of the poisonous insects they brought." "Yes, I didn't expect there to be such a young man in the north. Let's do this. Let Jingnan and the others come back," the Miaoshi River said after a moment of silence. Yes, in a town thousands of miles away, it was very quiet after nightfall. In a room in a hotel. There was a scream. A person suddenly woke up from his sleep in pain. He covered his stomach and lay on the bed. His body was curled up in pain like a prawn thrown into boiling water. It hurt. It hurt too much. The torturous pain came again. Damn it. Then there was another scream. The other person in the room had the same reaction. After more than 5 minutes, the pain gradually faded. The two of them lay on the bed, breathing heavily. It hurts too much." Miao Zhongnan didn't say anything. He just stared at the ceiling. "Uncle, are you okay?" "I'm fine. Go to sleep. You probably won't come back tonight," Miao Zhongnan said. "Probably. Just sleep when I tell you to." "Okay." The young man was tired and in pain. Soon, he fell asleep and started snoring. Miao Zhongnan, who was beside him, stared at the ceiling with his eyes open. No one knew what he was thinking. Early in the morning, sunlight shone into the room through the gaps in the curtains. Both of them didn't look good. They didn't sleep well last night and had 3 bouts of intense pain. It was double torture for both the body and the mind. Naturally, it didn't feel good. "We'll continue to stay here today," Miao Zhongnan said. "Are we still staying here? Not going back?" "No, we'll stay here for 2 more days," Miao Zhongnan said. He wanted to see if his judgment was correct. The two of them suffered 3 bouts of pain that day. The timing was almost exactly the same as the day before. It's cyclical and regular. It should be related to the meridians, Miao Zhongnan said. "What should we do?" "Let's go back to the village immediately," Miao Zhongnan said. "Drive back?" Miao Zhongnan asked. "No, take a plane or a high-speed train," Miao Zhongnan said. "Go back as fast as you can and avoid the bouts of pain." They rushed back to the village as fast as they could the next day. In the mountain village, Wang Yao had finished decocting the medicine for Su Xiaoxue. "How is it? Is it bitter?" "Not really," Su Xiaoxue said. "It often has a unique medicinal fragrance." "Well, you have neishi in your body, so you can resist most of these things," Wang Yao said. He had done experiments with his own body. He had swallowed poisonous herbs, but his body didn't have any abnormal reaction. According to his own feelings and analysis, there were 2 reasons. One was that his physical fitness was far better than that of ordinary people. The toxins were like an ant biting an elephant. It couldn't even tickle him. The other reason was that the neishi in his body could break down and dissolve the toxins. Su Xiaoxue's physical fitness was much better than that of ordinary people. Her neishi was mellow. Even if she didn't take the special decoction made by Wang Yao, her body could resist most of the toxins. Chapter 970. As for whether neishi could restrain the venomous insects, he was not sure. He had never tried it. "Sir, how long will this medicine take?" "About 7 days," Wang Yao said. 7 days? Yes. Is a long time. Not long. I won't start school until the 15th, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. "I don't have much to do during this time, so I'll stay here." Good, I can't ask for more, Wang Yao said. During the day, the two of them were together, either on Nanshan Hill or in the clinic. When Wang Yao saw patients, she was beside him and helped him get the medicine. After seeing the patients, she would ask some questions. The two of them were not the kind of people who were intimate and clingy. They just felt very comfortable and warm when they were together. That afternoon, near the evening, another patient came to the clinic. He was still from the village. He was in his 40s and did not look very good. When he entered the clinic, there was a strong smell of alcohol on him. Uncle, Yao, my stomach doesn't feel very well, the man said. Have you been drinking a lot these days? Wang Yao said. Yes, I drank a little, the man said. Not just a little, but a lot, Wang Yao said. I've been drinking since I got up in the morning. I've been drinking 3 meals a day. It's been at least 3 days. In the past 2 days, 7 or 8 people had come to his clinic because of drinking. Yes. The man nodded with a smile. You can't drink anymore, Wang Yao said. You can't touch alcohol for a month. You have to eat a light diet. You can't eat big fish or meat. Come on, sit down. Wang Yao gave him a simple massage and prescribed him a decoction to relieve the alcohol and nourish the stomach. Go back and boil water to drink twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Uncle, remember you can't drink. Okay. The middle-aged man took the decoction, paid, and left. Drinking is bad for the body. He definitely won't listen to you, Wang Yao said. If that's the case, he won't get better this month. Really? Yes, this man is a famous drunkard in the village. Even if it's not the New Year or any other festival, he still drinks twice a day at home. Even thunder won't stop him, Wang Yao said. This man was quite famous in the village because of his drunkenness. Do you know? One year, during Chinese New Year, he drank too much. He held firecrackers in his hand and set them off on the roof of the shed. As a result, his hand exploded and he fell into the pigsty and broke 2 of his ribs. Even after that, he still couldn't stop drinking. Another time, he drank too much outside. He walked alone from the town to Lianshan County in the middle of the night, which was a distance of dozens of miles. When he woke up the next day, he was stunned. Ha! Su Xiaoxue laughed. These drinkers made fools of themselves. Sir, is there any way to help him? Yes, I added something to his medicine. What is it? When these herbs are combined together, they will have a very magical effect. When he smells the wine, he will feel nauseous. If he drinks it, he will vomit. Really? Of course, it's true, Wang Yao said with a smile. It won't work. You just wait. He will come back this afternoon. Let's wait and see. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Miao Zhengnan and the young man had returned to the village to receive treatment from Yaoshi River. Interesting. He smiled after checking both of their bodies. Is the chief smiling? They were all very surprised to see Miao Shi's expression. Their impression of the chief was that he rarely smiled. It was rare to see him show any emotions on his face. Regardless of whether he was angry or happy, he always looked the same. He was expressionless and unperturbed. You said that he just pressed the air and you couldn't move? Yes, it felt like a mountain was on top of me, Miao Zhengnan said. It felt like I was about to be crushed. How many times did he hit your abdomen? 6. What about you? He asked the young man. Well, sorry, Chief, I didn't count. Well, how did you feel then? I just felt like my body was trapped and couldn't move, the young man said. In fact, he was frightened at the time. He couldn't remember what exactly he felt. However, since the elder, who was much stronger than him, said so, he couldn't be wrong in that regard. He's using a unique method to distort your meridians, Miao Shi has said. He's causing the flow of blood and qi in your abdomens to be obstructed. Furthermore, it's cyclical. Every once in a while, the situation will suddenly erupt and you'll be in great pain. He was very shocked. He had not seen such a method for many years. Moreover, it could be done to such an extent with just a simple pat. This young man probably had a very high level of martial arts cultivation. Moreover, he was very accurate in identifying acupoints and knew the meridians of the human body very well. In his 20s, he didn't believe that there was such a level of cultivation at this age, even if he started practicing in his mother's womb. Is Ing Hao back? He will be back tomorrow. Yes. Prepare the medicinal bath. He could cure the illness of the two people, but it would take some effort. Yes, it was the result of a casual pat by the young man he had never met. It would take some effort to cure it. I haven't encountered such an interesting thing and such an interesting person for a long time. He sighed. At this moment, he had an impulse to go to the village and meet the young man. Call Qingshan. Yes, master. After a while, Miao Qingshan came to the house. Chief, find someone outside to investigate Wang Yao. I want to know as much as possible. Yes. In the stockade, Miaoshi River cured the problem of the two people with a special treatment method. Phew. This young man's methods are beyond my expectations. In the afternoon, in the clinic in the mountain village, the middle-aged man who came in the morning came again. Uncle, what can I do for you? Yao, there's a problem with the medicine you gave me, the middle-aged man said. Problem? What's the problem? I feel disgusted after taking it, the middle-aged man said. Disgusting? It shouldn't be, Wang Yao seriously said. Have you been drinking again? Well, no. Uncle, don't lie to me, the middle-aged man said. You must have been drinking. I have told you that you must not drink while taking medicine. Otherwise, it will backfire. Well, okay, I see. The middle-aged man waved his hand and turned to leave the clinic. Look, Wang Yao said to Su Xiaoxue with a smile. Sir, you are really good at talking. I know this kind of person, Su Xiaoxue said. Drinking is addictive, just like smoking. When you're used to drinking and suddenly stop drinking, you will always feel that something is missing. You will feel uncomfortable and listless. This situation will last for a while. It will be good if you can get through it. If you can't, you will continue to fall and your body will get worse and worse. That afternoon, there were no other patients except for the middle-aged man. These 2 days have been quite leisurely. Near evening, Wang Yao and Su Xiaoxue were drinking tea and chatting in the clinic. Sir, have you ever thought of taking an apprentice? I have taken several, Wang Yao said. I mean, you should take someone who can help you for a long time, Su Xiaoxue said. This is a bit troublesome, Wang Yao said. There are many things to learn to become a pharmacist. It requires talent and, more importantly, temperament. How many young people can bear the loneliness and concentrate on one thing? They are all very utilitarian. They are too utilitarian and are not suitable to learn from me. It was not that Wang Yao did not want to take an apprentice to learn medicine, but it required too many requirements. The most important thing was temperament. That night, Su Xiaoxue made a phone call to Chu Lian. Auntie Lian, can you help me find a place? Okay. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine in southern Yunnan. Without asking for the reason, Chu Lian nodded. Someone dared to threaten Wang Yao. This was something she would not allow to happen. Although she knew that Wang Yao's cultivation was very high and that his kung fu was superb, it was still easier to dodge a spear in the open than a stab in the dark. His family and friends were still there. It sounded like the Valley of Thousands of Medicine was cruel when it came to using poison or goo. It was not a good thing to be remembered by such a place. In Jing, at the Su family's house, did Xiaoxue ask you to investigate? Yes, she said that people from that place are looking for trouble with Wang Yao. Southern Yunnan, a village in the south, running to the north to look for trouble, Song Ruiping said. Interesting. Hey, I remember that the place where Guo Zhenghe had a problem was also there. Yes. It is also in southern Yunnan, and it has a considerable connection with the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. As soon as she said that, Song Ruiping's face changed. Investigate it carefully. Yes, Mom. Investigate Guo Zhenghe as well. Okay. In Tianjin, in a restaurant, there was a table with 6 dishes, 1 soup, 2 glasses of wine, and 2 people. Thank you. Like I said, there's no need to be so formal between us, Su Xinyuan said with a smile. I survived this time, but I'm not sure about the next time. Miao Changtang downed the wine in his glass. The people in your village sure are capable of shocking things, Su Xinyuan said. Through what had happened recently, he increasingly felt that the village hidden deep in the mountains and forests was very unusual. If they intended to hide from the world, why did they have to weave such a huge net out there? Furthermore, there were people who knew how to track people. That person was a typical talent in tracking and assassination. That was not something a small village that pursued long-term safety would do. However, if one were to say that they were up to something, one would not be able to tell. What was there to be up to? You're saying that Dr. Wong is not only an amazing doctor, but he also knows some profound martial arts. Yeah, it's either martial arts or some kind of supernatural ability. I know that Miao Zhongnan. He's a ruthless person in the village. While he rarely goes out, he's been unusually ruthless when it comes to making moves. His methods are extraordinary, and he's very good at using poison. Otherwise, the Miaoshi River wouldn't have sent him out to do something like that. Chapter 971. Miao Changtang could not help but exclaim every time he recalled what had happened. That Dr. Wong was only a few feet away from him, yet he pressed his hand down in the air, and the man immediately fell to his knees, unable to move. That was just too miraculous. I didn't notice that before, Su Xinyuan said. Where did he learn so much at such a young age? Let's talk about you first, Miao Changtang said. Do you want to move somewhere else? Let's stay in Tianjin, Miao Changtang said in a self-deprecating manner. I feel like an unwanted dog if I keep changing places. He could not stay in his old home. He could not stay in southern Yunnan, and he could not stay there. He felt like a failure. Hey, you can't talk about yourself like that, Su Xinyuan hurriedly said. I've already discussed it with the landlord, Miao Changtang said. We'll move somewhere else. Tianjin is a big place. All right, I get it, Su Xinyuan said. Tianjin was a big place. They would have been looking for years if they moved somewhere else. Is there anything else? Nope, Miao Changtang said. Sorry for troubling you. You're being too formal with me if you keep saying that. The conversation between the two of them was rather dry. There was not much to talk about. By the way, how was Wang Yao able to get rid of the curse? Miao Changtang finally asked something of substance. I've thought about that, Miao Changtang said. He should have some medicine that can suppress the curse. He was from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, after all. He was able to guess what Wang Yao was doing with the medicine. Of course, he could not have guessed what it was. What medicine? Su Xinyuan asked. If we can get our hands on that medicine, does that mean we won't have to go to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine anymore? It would be best if we can get our hands on it, Miao Changtang said. When it comes to medicine, I'm just a layman. Even if a medicine is made of the same ingredients, if the amount of the key ingredient is slightly different, the medicine's potency will be a lot different. Analyzing the ingredients of medicine is extremely difficult. As far as I know, there are only a handful of people who can do that. Analyzing the ingredients and the amount used is something that even Miaoshi River might not be able to do. So troublesome? Yes, it's that troublesome. What do you think? If the Miaoshi River knew that Dr. Wong had the antidote and knew his location, would they send someone to steal or rob him? Well, he probably won't, unless he has herbs that are comparable to the blood orchid here. But I've taken a look at the mountain village he's in. It's all hills. There aren't any deep mountains or old forests, so there isn't enough spirit chi to breed the legendary herbs. Furthermore, this is the north. Miao Shihe is not familiar with the situation here at all. According to what I know about him, although he is very capable, he is very cautious. Even in southern Yunnan, he would not easily send people outside for fear of causing trouble for the stockade. Yeah, Miao Changtang nodded. In a mountain village thousands of miles away, a guest came to the clinic. Zheng Weijun. It was the 8th day of the Lunar New Year. Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company started work today, so Zheng Weijun came over early. Happy New Year, sir. Happy New Year. Zheng Weijun was in high spirits when it came to happy events. He looked very energetic. That was because the first product of Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company had become a hit. In the beginning, no one was interested in it. Now it was in short supply. In just a few months, it had turned the world upside down. Because of that, he received a lot of praise from his family when he returned home. Although he was happy, his expression was cold. Didn't you guys say that I'm not as good as the boss? Didn't you try to squeeze me out? Well, I'll show you what I'm made of. When he handed over the power and resources in his hands, no one in his family thought highly of him. Now, many people had changed their minds. Quite a few big clients called during the new year. Increase the quantity. Yes, increase the quantity. Increase the quantity is fine, but don't relax my requirements at all, Wang Yao said. His requirements were simple. They had to be wild herbs of the right age. Good herbs meant good medicine. Everyone understood this logic, but how many people and companies could really do it? In this society, utilitarianism was too important. There were too few people who focused on it. When can we produce the second type of Chinese medicine? This is the prescription for the second type of Chinese medicine. It can be produced at any time. As usual, it has to be wild herbs. Wang Yao handed the prescription to Zheng Weijun. Don't worry, I will. Zheng Weijun took the prescription and carefully read it a few times. He memorized the herbs in his heart. Heat-clearing powder. Poria cocos, roasted licorice, atractylodes, Angelica dihurica, dandelion, Alisma orientalis, atractylodes. This medicine could remove the dampness and heat in the body and relieve the cold. It was also a commonly used medicinal herb. After memorizing these medicinal herbs in his heart, he carefully put away the prescription. These were all treasures that could not be exchanged for money. The mission was to spread medicine all over the world. At that moment, a voice sounded in Wang Yao's ears. Spread medicine all over the world. Within 3 years, medicine all over the world. There were a few sentences below. What did it mean to spread medicine all over the world? Every province and city had to have the medicinal herbs of Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company. 3 years. This period of time was neither long nor short. It seems that we have to hurry up, Wang Yao said. What did you say? Ah, nothing, Wang Yao said. I was thinking, do we need to build a large wild plantation to provide raw materials for our pharmaceutical factory? Well, that's a good suggestion, sir, Zheng Weijun said. I've also thought about it. It's best to build one in the north and one in the south because the growing environment of the herbs is very restrictive. Some herbs can only grow in the north, and some can only survive in the south. After all, he was born into a medical family. He understood these principles very early on. Well, I think we should start from the village. In the surrounding mountains, we can plant some herbs that can be produced here and that we often use. I'll control the quality in this regard. Well, that's a good idea, Zheng Weijun said. For a period of time, their pharmaceutical factory lacked a medicinal herb. It was not that they could not find it, but that they could not get wild ones for the time being. Therefore, Wang Yao provided a part of it, which was planted in the herbal field on Nanshan Hill. Fortunately, the amount was not particularly large. Otherwise, he would not have been able to meet the demand. The raw material inspector in the pharmaceutical factory was full of praise for the quality of this batch of herbs. He said that he had never seen such good herbs in his more than 10 years in the business. That's settled then. Okay, the two of them chatted in the clinic for a while. It was almost time, so they went to town together. At the opening ceremony, firecrackers and thunder kept ringing. It was very lively. Businessmen believed in this for the sake of good luck. It was very lively. The workers who came to work that day were all given red packets. Everyone was very happy. At the end of the year, the company had already given out red packets, and they had been given a lot of benefits. They were naturally very happy to receive another red packet. Who would complain that the money was not enough? Receiving a red packet at the beginning of the year was naturally a good sign. Everyone was very happy. Naturally, they worked hard. At noon, Wang Yao also drank 2 glasses of wine. In the afternoon, Su Xiaoxue received a phone call. Got Mom, I'll talk to him. Sir, do you remember Xiao Rui from the He family? Yes, I do. You mentioned that 15-year-old glass man. Yes, that's him, Su Xiaoxue said. His family wants to ask when you are free to bring Xiao Rui for treatment. Oh, well, let me think about it. How about in 3 days? Wang Yao said. During this time, he had been thinking about how to treat the young man's illness. After thinking about it for a long time, he really did think of a way. It happened to be just right to use his newly learned medical skill, medicinal bath. Taking medicine orally and applying a medicinal bath externally would combine the inside and outside to change the exterior and interior. Okay, I'll talk to his family then. Well, okay. After that, Wang Yao began to get busy. He had to prepare the wooden tub for the medicinal bath and make it by himself. The manufacturing method was in his mind. The first thing to do was to prepare the materials. He needed the best wood. He gave Zheng Weijun a call. Okay, no problem. The next morning, the materials needed by Wang Yao were delivered. Sir, what are you going to do? I'm going to make a big wooden tub for the medicinal bath. I'll help you. Okay. Wang Yao's clinic did not accept patients. The two of them were busy for most of the day. The wooden tub was finally formed. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.